She wakes up. We find out that Asmodeus killed him over and over again for 2 hours. We let her know that we have Q. Then she says she's going to take a nap. She also doesn't know why Asmodeus didn't hollow them, and she lets us know that Moreau was kind of kind to them in a sense. Jaren pulls Rock off to the side. They communicate. Caleb tries to talk to Q. We come to the realization that Q needs medical attention. We also realize that Q does not blame us for being sent to hell, but once he's, up and running again, he wants to talk to Tea Kettle. I go over and talk to Nafira for a little bit. We all kind of go around, meet Q. He's getting IVs, and he's messing with the really cool, really hard Rubik's Cube. I have down 5 fucks with the Rubik's Cube. Rock only gets 2 sides. Instruments to put human souls to work. Oh, basically he was making instruments that would convert human souls to work to heal Asmodeus. Q is kind of suspicious of Sabir. He scans Sabir, says that he's strange, and lets Sabir know that he just wants to protect his friends. Sabir kind of communicates with him, lets him know, I have a lot of stuff going on, but I think, if we got to sit down and talk, we'd be really good friends. After that, we head to Moya, Shipwreaks of Infernal. We go to the internal part of Moya where the captain's seat is. We're kind of looking around to see if anybody, we had any stowaways, anybody followed us to hell, or from hell. We see 3 containers. Orion takes out his sights and taps on the containers, and all we hear is shit, fuck, fuck. Then a 1-foot-tall little humanoid red imp crawls out named Splooge. He was a cook in hell, but they would peel his skin off every time he overcooked something or fucked it up. We find out that he's telling us the truth. We kind of think of ways we could put Splooge to work here. Orion does repeatedly tell him that if he betrays us, he's going to eat him. Then Splooge wants to cause a ruckus. He turns invisible. We end up chasing him around the ship. Orion finally gets a handle on him, and we decide that he's going to work on the ship with us and cook. We agree to pay him 2 gold an hour plus tips. Akar severs his tie to Asmodeus. He turns from red and gray to kind of this blue color with purple horns. Rock beats his bullywugs viciously, giving them lashes. I kind of go down and check on Moya. She's good. After that, we head to go back to Talonbrook's lecture. It's full. Rock kind of has some questions for her. We all kind of ask her any questions we need to know. And then we head to Witherbloom to see Professor Valentine. He says, he who shall not be named, the big O's name. And we kind of figure out that these trees around where he teaches have these runes put into them that we can't read. I mean, they're ancient runes. And they basically form a protection around them, so whatever is talked about can't be let out. Orion tries to see if he can get a vision. Valentine thinks that Orion and him are descended, or are descended from the same descendants.
Which we didn't talk about it, but the race of people I was speaking about, I've mentioned before. Whenever you guys learned about the Generals of Judgment, they're called the Vishar.
I do remember that. The Vishar.
They were the race of humans from the abyss.
Dope. The runes light up with some kind of pre-abyssal but abyssal language of protection. I have to not let the bad juju out. We can kind of tell that the runes are struggling to contain the magic. It's an ancient language from spells that were written before spells were really a thing. It helps to allow Valentine to speak freely. He doesn't really know what would happen if basically kind of the threshold were to break and the magic would get out. I went up to chit chat with him, kind of get in to see if I can learn about the pre-abyssal stuff and all that. Then Orion dunks his head into the blood. There's hallways of thousands and thousands of doors lining the hallways, murals and paintings. Orion kind of focuses in on the sixth door. It's an ancient-looking building, mountain cities. The painting name is the great city of, I cannot pronounce it,
Ungora.
Ungora. It's a huge metropolitan city, powerful wizards, a 20-foot tall automaton with a 14-foot long sword, walking around. The sword does damage based on the highest level spell slot. Orion kind of sees that all these people are happy. The children are happy and playing. It's a very thriving, beautiful city on top of the Stonestorm Mountains. And he comes to see that like the continents are completely different to what we know now. It's like 10,000 years in the past. And then Orion kind of looks around for like posters or any important figures. There's a poster about the Sorcerer's Academy. Names a couple people to reach out to. There's a sign for Craftsman. There's a poster for Ranger Rick. He kind of keeps exploring around. Comes to like a group of people, and that's all the people who were, named on the signs that he had looked at. They were all kind of grouped together. He's at this. What was it? It wasn't a cathedral, was it? What was it?
It was a mix between a cathedral and a monastery. It was also seemed to be like a town hall, kind of like a council building.
And then the emissary of the Raven Queen arrived, a tall elven man, has a symbol of the Raven Queen. His hands are claws, and he kind of has this gold, like armorish kind of thing down one of his arms. We figure out, or Orion comes to the conclusion that it's Vanala. I don't know what that is. And then we see a tall, blonde elven woman and two kids who don't really look like Sabir. It's a daughter and a son. Orion chooses to follow Vanala, like up to the room where he was staying. Vanala wishes he didn't have to bring her and the kids to the city or his wife. Then Vanala exits the room. His wife and the kids stay. He's walking with a purpose. And then we kind of see when he gets down there, this statue of Angora, a city built on the backs of the people. Vanala starts to speak to everyone and says that he brings tidings of the Raven Queen. Dark vibes are coming to the city. He says, prepare while you can. And then he kind of mumbles, or he wished they could. He says he was given a task. He is the dark force that was coming to Angora. His arm. Right. He releases a bunch of plagues. Since Vanala was a healer, he would absorb people's illnesses, and he sends out thousands and thousands of plagues. The group of people that were on the poster end up making it out. He's kind of talking about how he didn't want this. We see some dark gray arms like emerging through the building, and he grabs people. 200-foot tall individual with horns. We come to realize is Orcus. He says he will take this city for his own. Vanala says, he did what he asked. Can he have his family back? And we see Asmodeus pull out Orcus, pull out a little box, and he crushes Vanala's family. And then Asmodeus appears on his shoulder and tells him it was a good choice. Also known as Asmodeus, was known by Asbar, who was his devoted general. He looks at Orcus and tells him that he was known for his brutality and evil, and how does it feel to be known as stupid? And Asmodeus tells him that he made an enemy out of his son. Orcus tries to throw up a spell, but Vanala's eyes go yellow. And then he pulls out a plague that can kill gods, and he puts it on Orcus. Then he teleports to Orcus, grabs him, and says, "Holy man, consider his lies rot," and that's Venala's domain. Venala rips out Asmodeus's tongue and says, "I will be the deceiver now," and eats his tongue. Then after that, Orion is out of the vision. He's kind of a little bit shaken, doesn't really want to talk about it yet. We head back to the dorms. Orion tells us about his vision, about how Orcus commanded Venala to do his bidding or he would kill his family. Venala killed Orcus, and we kind of check on Spear and see how he is. He explains that when his eyes go orange, that's his sister, and that Venala wants full control, and we kind of bring back what Asmodeus said when we were in hell, that about Sabir not being able to be trusted, that he would turn on us, and Sabir's kind of trying to figure out what that means for him, but lets us know that his sister was closer to Venala than him, and then we kind of figure out that Bran and I cannot read what I wrote for the other name. Compton are really good with memories and going back into them. So we're going to try to talk to them to see if I think we can get back in those memories. And that's all I got. And then I just have
Very
Zenith.
good. That definitely deserves an inspiration. That was
Yeah,
very
W.
comprehensive.
W.
Very good job.
My wrist was hurting after that session.
Yeah, it was a biggie. It was a big lore dump.
That's
It's been a
it?
while since we had a big lore dump. Shut up, Gabe. Shut the fuck up. You freaking goof. All right. So, with that, we're going to pick up where we left off. You guys, the evening of, Jaren and Inafir are healing. You guys have finished most of your things you wanted to achieve for the day. You've had your conversations. Most of you are just kind of relaxing around. So I'm going to give you guys the rest of this evening to kind of discuss and plan and figure out what you want your next move to be. You guys still have some classes to do, and you'll have to attend classes and stuff while things are going on, but you also do have some kind of bigger things going on that you need to start kind of getting a direction on. So with that, you guys are kind of probably eating dinner, sitting around your fire. Everyone's kind of shuffling in and out, going in and out of the rooms, doing different things. For now, it's just you guys, but I hand it over to you. You have the rest of the evening to do what you will with.
I know we are gonna try to get a hold of Compton, right?
Or Bran.
Or Bran, yeah.
Yeah. Compton would be an easy one because I can play Compton. Bran might have to wait till Roshi can pop up because I don't want to do that character a disservice.
I'll give you a heads up right now. Roshi's free just about whenever. Just have to get a hold of him. He's unemployed.
Oh no, I
right now.
texted him about this Saturday, but I don't think he was free. I think it'll if he can show up, it'll probably be the next few weeks or whatever.
So we'll shoot for Bran, and if no Bran, then Compton.
Get a hold of both of them. I got both their numbers. Just one might show up earlier than the other. That's all I can say.
Also, has anybody gotten a call from Clarence?
I don't have a phone.
You have the phone.
You gave Clarence your phone.
I know, that's why I'm asking
and
them.
Rowan had the only other one.
Oh.
And you never gave
I don't know
that
if I have
phone.
that guy's.
You never told
I don't
Clarence
have-
to call Rowan. So like you really don't know.
I don't think I have his number. So
You never got it. You didn't get it.
I could give him my number, and then he could call that phone.
You gave Clarence
have
your phone.
The number,
you
though,
don't.
if I gave Fi my number, he could call it, and Clarence has it.
Okay, this is gonna sound mean, but I genuinely don't know if Orion would remember his phone number, so I'm
That's
gonna
true,
need a
yeah.
history check.
Yeah, that's fair. He barely even he got that as somebody
Yeah.
bought it
He
from
had-
like one of the first.
Yeah,
Second
Rowan
phone.
bought it. He could barely
This-
use it, so
yeah.
I just need
This
to.
is this is also a real life thing because it's taken me several years to kind of know my phone number.
Really? You don't know shit.
Yeah.
Comparing to real world, I just don't know if a 10 is good enough.
Yeah.
Like, how long does it take to learn your new phone number?
It's a
Well,
10-digit
apparently
phone number.
several
Yeah.
years.
It's a 10. He remembered all 10 digits. That was the.
I think there's only been one time where I've put in my phone number confidently and knew it was the right. And that was just like last week.
Well, we'll just go check on him some other time.
Well,
I'm
so
sure
you guys
he's fine.
get
I'm sure we can find him.
okay. I'll say on a 10 because I rolled a luck check and I rolled below a 10. I'll say that you don't remember your number, but you wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, I had it somewhere. Yeah, that's right. I put it in
Come
my
on,
shoe.
Orion. Everyone has to remember their phone number. It's
You
crazy.
pull out your real world
Yeah.
billfold.
Back in my day, we didn't have these fancy.
You should go check the PC on Moya.
What do you mean
I'm
back?
sure it's
These
written
things
down
are
on one of
these,
those.
Forge PC on
Yeah.
Twitter. You send Clarence a Facebook Messenger.
So I'll hand over the number that's horribly written on this like crumpled up like piece of paper, and I'll be like, hey, just you text him, see if he's okay.
Is that a
kind of
seven?
looks
No,
like.
it's
Is he
two.
supposed to be one of the smart ones? I don't remember. Anyway, I'll shoot this little text. I just
You gonna
send you
text him or
good.
you gonna call him?
At first, I'd send a text and just say you good,
No response on the text.
and then I'm like, well, I'll just call him, and then I hand the phone to Orion because that's his buddy.
Clarence definitely does not know how to
whoa.
text.
Buddy, okay, well, I'd say I don't want him to die.
Well, he has your phone, so I'm just assuming. So
Honestly, I just wanted to get rid of it.
that's crazy. Anyway, that's ringing.
All right, high or
Clarence was
low?
our friend. So mean.
I know. Low.
Okay.
Hi.
It
More
rings
out.
it rings like 5 or 6 times, and you think it's about to go to voicemail, and then you hear a hello,
Hey, what's going on, buddy? Long time no talk.
who's this?
My Ryan, remember I gave you that phone? You're supposed to call us if you ever got in any trouble,
Oh, I thought you'd abandoned me. I tried to call the first couple of days, and there was no answer.
Yeah, the issue is none of us had a phone. Bit of an oversight on my part.
I thought it was some kind of mean joke.
No. We just, didn't really think it through. We're not very good about thinking those kind of things through.
And if I just chuckles a little bit but doesn't say anything.
Do you need anything?
No, I was just calling to check up on you, see, how things are going.
It's been pretty terrible. I've been beat on most days.
Did you get beat on today?
Yeah, the students come by here and they like to beat me.
Did you catch any of their names or what they look like?
Hey, it's most of the students.
Oh, just all of them.
Most people who see me.
How about... Oh, you're not a student. You can't go to classes. If we all had a day off, you could just hang with us for a day and, we wouldn't beat you up if you wanted to.
I don't know if I want to tempt myself with a day of enjoyment just to return back to this living hell.
I mean,
Someone get this man some antidepressants.
God.
I wouldn't mind if you wanted to, like, stay out here just so you're not getting your ass beat every day.
But I'm required to have a job.
Nah, it's just gonna be a bit of a trek to the job.
You see there's like a small shack off to the left where he stays,
Yeah.
and
Well,
he looks at it and he's like, I don't know, my uncle might be displeased.
me and Mr. Valentine, we've got a mutual understanding. As
Just
of
look
now.
at that, my uncle likes somebody else more than me.
Clarence, we're not too different, you and I. In a lot of ways, we are. In
What does
most
that
ways,
mean? You
we are.
walk around with weapons and magical powers, and I move a cart.
We're both sensitive to visions. That's pretty. That's something.
Last time I had a vision, they told me I was something called schizophrenic.
I think those are just called online haters, Clarence. I think they're just hating.
What's online?
How would you even know what that is, Orion?
I don't know. Rowan told me about it.
Anyway, proceed.
Skyforge PC.
Well, Clarence, I'll let you think about it. I don't want to keep you busy from your job. Don't want you to get in trouble while on the clock.
I'm thinking about purchasing a firearm to defend myself.
Well, why would you waste the money? Sorry,
Because I need
overheard.
to stop getting beat.
I can just make them anyway. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a gun, we have.
Are you going to supply me with a firearm I used to shoot another student?
Well, I'm not saying that. I just like building them.
That is
I
kind of
forget
what
everything
you
I
just
said.
said, though. You did just say
Everything I
that.
said. I didn't say anything. This conversation never happened.
Who is that guy?
He's one of our new friends, Clarence. You know, don't worry about him. He may or may not supply you with a gun. Depends on how he's
Is he gonna
feeling.
shoot me?
No, none of us are gonna shoot you out. I should say. No, none of us have any plans or anything. We don't want to shoot you.
I mean, unless you start shooting at me first, but we're not talking about that.
You know what, Clarence? Don't even worry about it. If you want, you know, you can hang out with us for a day. Up to you. You know, there's an option to stay here, out here with us if you want it. I'll leave it up to you, but
He kind of thinks for a moment. He's like, I'm not sure.
well, I mean, I think staying out here would be a little safer. You might not get beat up as soon as you walk outside.
Yeah, we only beat up bad guys.
Yeah, I think you'd get beat up
Most of the time.
significantly less if you were staying out here. I'm not saying you would stop getting beat up, but I think maybe if you're seen hanging around us a little more, they might start beating you up less.
He looks for a second. He's like, I don't really do much to anybody. They just see me, and I guess I'm an easy target.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying is like if they see you traveling with us and then they see like oh like he might be friends with those guys, maybe they'll be less inclined to just, you know, beat your ass.
Well,
We've seen things, Clarence.
I try to be kind to them, but they look at me and they go, you know, it'd be funny as if we took this guy's underpants and pulled them over his head.
Someone tried doing that to me once. I have a hard time walking now.
See, Clarence, I think, you know, we're building up, you know, we actually just made good friends with like, you know, these other really strong guys. They're all pretty nice guys. So, you know, if we've got maybe a little bit of a reputation, you know, if you just want to hang around us, I really think people might kind of like have second thoughts about beating you up. Hello? Is this thing
Hold
still
on.
on?
Hello?
Hold on.
Hello?
I'm gonna hand it
Messaging
over
somebody.
to Yu-Gi-Oh. Is this still on?
Is this thing still on?
Yeah, Clarence, he says, I don't really know. There's not much I can do.
You know what, Clarence? I'm not gonna say it a fourth time, man. Like I've offered it, you know. I'll leave it up to you. You know, this all your choice. Like I said, if anything crazy starts happening, you know,
It sounds like you're giving me something that you think is a solution to the problem that isn't really a solution to the problem. You're pretending that the problem is with me, but it's with all of these students attacking me.
well, I don't really know what we can
Yeah,
do
take
about
that one, Orion, and he hangs up.
I think I'm gonna go beat him up, bro. Like,
Hey,
As I
you
take
heard
back my
Clarence.
phone,
You
I was like,
heard
I think
Clarence.
that-
Valentine's on your
Yeah.
shit, bro.
I'm just gonna hand the phone back to Fi. Like, yeah, it went over really well.
I think that went really well. He'll be here in no time.
Get him on Rock's training regiment.
But does
Monk of the open Clarence.
do I have any classes the rest of the day, or no?
So, well, this is still the evening.
The evening? Okay.
Yeah, your classes would restart the
Weekend.
next day.
Does anybody else have any ideas of what they want to do?
Book.
With Splooge?
He wants to book.
Want to cook.
Oh, he wants to cook. I thought he said book.
Do we have a kitchen on Moya?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got nothing.
I could probably look at my fancy little flying machine a little bit.
I think I'll just
Now's the
train
time
for the rest
to
of the week.
now's the time to deal with all the stuff you guys want to deal with before your characters start having like responsibilities again.
If I've got the evening to myself, I want to finish my learning with ISP.
Yeah, that's easy enough. Roll me an intelligence check.
I'm pretty close.
Yeah, that's good. You can add Modron to your known
Uh,
languages.
I can say it without saying slurs now.
And you specifically know Modron 1. There are
Modron
multiple
1,
different
okay.
languages of Modron. You know Modron 1.
Where am I
Is
at
the
on
other
that
party?
scale?
What do you say, Middle?
I was to say, where am I at on the Modron knowing scale?
You already knew Modron. You know Modron 1.
Do I know
should be
past
on
one
you.
or?
No, just one. Modron 2 is like a language for the Sentinels of Celestia. So like the really, really high up Modrons, it's a special language they speak.
Is the other party
Now
with
I
us
know.
though?
No.
No, they're all busy doing their own thing.
Can
You guys got like 2
to,
months of sessions with them. You get to be alone now. Go ahead, Maddie.
can I go up to Fi and see if he can help me start working with my gun I got?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Ooh,
Yeah. I
Fi.
got that.
I don't know if Fi was there when you purchased the gun, but Valmoria walks up with a large Space Marine size assault rifle.
Pretty sure it was. I was on that ship, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she walks up with an absolutely monumental rifle. Like the stock is so big that it has a slot to go under your arm instead of in the shoulder.
I just looking at that thing's crazy.
Big gun.
Yeah.
It's when Pebble starts mouthing off. That's when I'm gonna start using it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
I will say the gun, it has a very large stock with like a top indent for it to go under the arm. It leads down. It has 2 different triggers and it has 4 barrels along with like a cylindrical magazine on the bottom.
So it just kind of looks like. Do you know what that thing does at all? I mean, that looks quite powerful.
I do. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I know what it does.
I know what it does, she says. I know.
Give me 1 second. Hold on. I'm
You're good.
finding it.
You should look it up on the Skyforge PC on Google.
Like on Gunbrokers, look it up.
I always. Yeah. Oh, it's powered by stars. Yes, it does radiant damage, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong though.
I thought it had those little power cell things.
That's all my notes have failed me.
Powered by stars.
I just said, you got anything that deals with nature? She said, this do with stars. And I said, okay, give it to me.
Have you
She's actually
tested
right.
it out at all?
No, because
Ah,
I don't know anything about guns. I mean, you can test it out if you want. Give me your expertise opinion, but I was hoping you could help me learn how to use it.
okay. Do you mind if I take a quick look see at it? Maybe look under the
Oh,
hood,
yeah.
so to say. However you
Oh,
do
yeah.
that with guns. All right.
I really gently hand him the gun. Very, very gently.
I place it down on whatever sort of work table's next to me. And what do I got to roll for this?
Hold on. I am looking for the specifics. I thought I had made a card for the gun. If not, it's fine. I'll make one.
Beep bop, boop, beep bop.
I know I have it somewhere. Give me just a second.
Oh, come here often, guys?
Man, shut up.
Once a week.
That's what Clay said. He's been.
Yeah, Clay says, man, shut up.
Clay's been going through his preteens, that angsty phase.
Yeah.
You guys are so annoying.
I know how you feel, Clay. I once blew up a small building because I was a little peeved.
Okay. I can't find the card, but basically the gun is powered by solar radiation. It has 2 different firing modes. There's a mode where you can shoot a single shot from one of the barrels, and it does 2d6 plus, I believe it's Dex or your highest mental stat modifier on the damage, or it has and a single shot uses 10 of the 100 ammo, or you can use 50 of it to shoot a blast from all 4 barrels, and it does 46 plus the modifier radiant damage. Basically, it's just a gun that has different firing modes that can shoot sunlight really, like in laser form. And then there's also a third form where you can overload it, and it will destroy the gun and the ammunition inside, but it does, I think, 16d6 radiant damage.
Does Fi know all this just upon looking at it? Or do I have to make a roll?
Do you have the identify spell?
Let me look real quick.
If you do, you can cast that, and that'll make it easy.
I do have it, but I don't have it prepared.
It's a ritual. You don't need it prepared.
Okay, then I'll just do that then.
Yeah, so you cast identify, and you this item is called the Celestial Crusher.
So I got Celestial Crusher. That's insane. You better be careful with this one.
Yeah, this I'll tell you with identify. This weapon was used in the War of the Gods versus the Primordials. This is a weapon that was like meant to harm deities.
So I just look at it like, do you like shooting gods? How do you feel
You
about
know, I've thought about it a time or two. I don't really like them.
that? This could do that. It's
Perfect.
a really old thing. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's like a third fire mode. Don't use that unless you're not very attached to it.
Got it. Thanks for letting me know. But yeah, I was wondering.
Oh, additionally, I forgot to say the second fire mode that does 46 hits in a 10-foot area. It's an AoE.
You basically got yourself quite a weapon here. That is insane. It was just floating out there in space like that.
Yeah, I kind of, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
This is basically a cannon.
And you want to start training for firearm proficiency, Maddie?
See. Want to shoot big heavy gun?
Go ahead and roll a dexterity check for me with advantage.
Okay. Beep beep beep. Oh shit. Beep.
I just say aim with your brain, not your eyes.
23 is pretty good. Yeah, you're definitely not all the way there yet, but even in the first session, like, you're not used to this kind of technology, but it's pretty intuitive because this is somehow a piece of technology that uses nature, so it's not too hard for you to understand. The hardest part, I think, for Valmoria is going to be learning how to aim a firearm because you've never shot one, but how the gun works itself is pretty simple for you. So yeah, probably a little more practice and you'll probably get it, but a 23 is really good.
Dope.
At the end of that, I just say, now go put an ice pack on your shoulder. It'll probably hurt later.
Yeah, as you do put the weapon in your arm and you shoot it, like, you notice the first shot you take shoots out of one barrel and it's like kind of a straight beam of golden like laser, probably about a foot long, that just shoots straight out. And whatever it hits just seems to instantly erupt on fire. And then the second one you shoot, it kicks pretty hard, but all 4 barrels shoot at once, and you watch as like this huge kind of circular area is just rained with like sunlight fire.
That's fucking sick. But that bitch got some kickback, so yeah, I think I'll go ice my shoulder, and I'm just like rolling my shoulder out as I walk away.
And to recharge the gun, you can either do things like cast the daylight spell into it, or you can leave it out for, I think it's if you leave it out in the sun for 4 hours, it'll recharge.
That's fucking dope as shit. Play.
Yeah, it's hard because you can only have like one magazine at a time, but the ammo doesn't really cost you anything. So
Yeah. Dope.
Amara, you said what?
I said what I said.
You said what?
I said that Valmoria is so hot and sexy with the gun.
That's my wife right there. We got married in hell, guys. Don't know if you know
I'm gonna
that. but we
cover
got married.
Sabir's ears. Sabir, you don't need to listen to
You're
this.
so hot and sexy. You just look so good.
all right, Damien, what's a car doing this evening?
jotting in my book and hoping nobody explodes themselves with a big gun.
I know gun safety.
Standing, you're the ambulance they bring for football games. You're just waiting, sitting
Right,
close
just,
enough so
"I
you can see
invented
what's
gun
happening.
safety."
All right. Anything specific you're putting in the book? Just
No, not today.
Hmm?
Not today. I've got some stuff, but it's going to come after I talk to Jaren when he's not.
that's fair. Yeah. Just general clerical work then, filling out the
Yeah.
pages, doing your job. Do roll me a religion check with advantage real quick. 21, very good. You take a moment while you're writing in your book and just kind of feel your divinity for a moment, and you feel that despite everything that happened in hell, Hades is still there and he's still kicking.
The
All three of them are still there and they're still kicking. Whatever happened, it didn't come back on them.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I don't know what kind of relief a car feels from that, but you know that not only is your magic intact, but all of your homies from the deep are still, they're okay.
Yeah.
And I think your book, like, as you're writing, the book kind of lights up. The magic is still active, which maybe a card didn't fully expect. Asmodeus is kind of known to take his anger out on whoever's nearby. So, additionally, one thing I want to mention to Akar is that it didn't get talked about a lot whenever it was happening. But you do know that Amara made a deal to get you guys out of there with an entity called Carcerai. And you would know that a long, long time ago, way before you ever existed, Carcerai actually was a compatriot of Hades. He was one of his best friends. And at one point, Hades made an oopsie, and since Asmodeus couldn't afford to get rid of Hades, he took Carcerai and has kept them prisoners since. But
And he's
Carcerai originally
in hell.
was that?
He was physically there when we were leaving.
Yes, Carcerai was underneath Asmodeus's palace. He was the reason the chains were holding Moya, because that's what Asmodeus uses for now. One thing I guess to explain, hell, Hades is a part of hell, but it is also its own plane, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's got its autonomy, but also answers to Asmodeus in a lot of ways. But yeah, while you guys were there, Carcerai was, I would say at this point, probably retroactively, you felt under the palace, and he was the reason the chains were coming up through the ground.
I guess now's also a good time to bring up. Are we still gonna go to the meeting with Hades?
Akar would know that any meeting in hell, under the pretense of a council meeting, no violence can occur. It's expressly against the laws of hell that even Asmodeus has to follow. Previous criminal charges cannot be brought forward. Acts of violence cannot be, enacted on people. It's the only way that Asmodeus can ensure that his generals will come and, feel safe.
I do want to go still. I'm just afraid that he's gonna find some backdoor loop workaround to do something to us.
I'll give you a card that, while maybe in some world that is possible, if he, I as the DM can't think of a way I would have to put real thought into it, but that's one of the things that is held to a standard by all of the generals of hell. Even if Asmodeus did something during that meeting, it would destroy any amount of respect a lot of people had for him.
Okay.
Because it would be blatantly going against the set laws of hell. The only reason those generals appear every year is because they have these agreements that allow them safety. And if those are broken and they don't think that they can feel safe anymore, then the whole, hierarchy of hell starts to break down.
Then Hell War starts.
Hell War 2.
I guess it's kind of a group question. Do y'all still want to go?
I think it would be fun.
I'm down. I'm a little scared. That sounds good.
All right, I'm ready. Let's go.
Oh, now?
Right back in. Crack that portal open.
As long as we're not gonna die immediately,
Well, I don't know about immediately, but
I hope
or
he
at all, really, that'd be preferable.
No. Hope he doesn't try to kill us.
well, he probably won't try to kill us then. But any other time, I think we probably shouldn't go.
Yeah, this is true.
Plus, it might help us find out some more information about stuff going.
We all
on.
know Rock is gonna want to go, so
Yeah.
that's. Rock is gonna want to go look Asmodeus in the eyes.
Yeah, he's gonna
Oh,
want to taunt
God.
him the whole time.
As long as we can assure that he
Now,
doesn't.
the one thing I will give you,
You know,
is that if you guys go there and there is during the council a perceived disrespect, you can be challenged to one-on-one combat.
Can you decline?
No. If you decline, it's essentially a forfeiture. But it has to be in a situation where there is like a perceived slight.
Oh,
It can't just be like, I want to challenge that dude. It's like, that dude has disrespected my honor. We're going to throw hands.
oh, so I'm looking straight ahead, forward at all times, not even looking
Yeah.
at nobody.
I mean, so like if Rock runs his mouth, that might come up or whatever, but if you guys are just pretty put together and you're part of Hades' entourage or whatever, should not be an issue.
But yeah, I'm down to go. And let me see. Well, Orion wants to go
Yeah,
because
this-
of Alicia. Truthfully,
You're gonna get expelled for going.
yeah. This would, we'd have to see if this one would be
Just
school
want to bring that
sanctioned.
bit of. Yeah.
I think it's on a weekend actually.
It's Saturday.
We check ourselves out for the weekend.
Saturday brunch in hell. All right, guys, who wants a mimosa?
We
It's also
Oh,
I don't
me.
know.
What- Give me another one. This will be my 8th one for the day. Please.
Do we know
Asmodeus
if
is a
Tea-Kettle
really
or
chill
anybody
dude on
wants
the
to talk
weekends.
to us right now for the whole thing?
No word has been sent, but if you guys wanted to go talk to Tea Kettle, but I mean, there hasn't been like a summons for you guys yet.
I think I'll pass.
Before we go
I'll-
talk to Tea Kettle, I don't think we should mention the whole hell thing.
No, I was gonna say I don't want to like go and seek him out.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's absurd to think he doesn't already know.
Yeah.
Teakettle's a
True,
scary
but-
man.
I'm not gonna seek him out. I wait. Actually, he teaches one of my classes, so
Yes, he does.
Oh no.
Val's in that class too.
the abjuration class.
goody. It's alright, Orion. We finna go kick ass in that class. He gonna be none the wiser.
Valmoria, I can't cast spells. Like I don't got like I'm not a.
I got you. I'll just bring my big gun up in there. It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Well, okay.
Professor Tea Kettle, how's this for abjuration?
Let's not kill him,
No,
Let's not do that.
we can't. I don't think we
The
can.
best defense is a good offense.
Tea Kettle would be proud. Let's not
No.
lie here.
He goes, that's
He'll
not
be
the
like-
point of the class, but that's fucking sick.
Exactly. Exactly.
Let's see how it does in hell, and then he said, "You know."
He said,
Enjoy your
"That was
trip."
pretty Cool.
Valmoria comes back as Doomslayer.
I was about to say she has an entire arc, and now she's just a godlike being.
But
We should do that.
we had the chance. We were down there.
I mean, technically, if we went by XP rules, you guys could spend like a week in hell and be level 38.
God damn!
We all become Doomslayers.
Isn't that so much fun?
Every single one of us is ripped.
And then he replaces the Skyrim soundtrack with the Doom soundtrack.
Hey, do
We don't even use
so
spells
far.
anymore because it takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, but that's all I have. I know.
All right. Nothing else for the evening?
I just want to work on my spaceship.
Yeah, I mean, you can go over to Moria for a couple hours. It'll go ahead and roll me a Tinkerer's Tools check. You have most of the components you need now.
Cool, just a normal one.
Yeah, just normal, because you're trying to work on guns that you don't really understand. 25 is pretty good.
Hell yeah.
That mid.
You gonna leave it at 25 or?
Let's do Flash of Genius just because I have
Okay.
to get a long rest.
So
Anyway.
Flash of Genius will bump you to 30, which is considered impossible. I'll say of the two anti-material cannons on there, you get one of them working. The other one is going to need some work because it's just a lot of rewiring and you're having to like machine new parts and stuff like that of like rusted out old stuff. But I'd say especially with 30, you get a good understanding of like, okay, these guns are essentially firing small bits of like antimatter that just destroy whatever they hit. It just kind of makes it dust.
I just kind of like scratch my head and go, wow.
Yeah. You know that this is like very advanced technology that no one in this world has access to, number one. And the only concern you have is you don't necessarily know exactly how you're going to power it long term yet. Because it doesn't have ammunition, it creates ammunition from power. So you have some amount of power sources that would run it, but if you use this thing extensively, like it's gonna start like just sucking power out of your ship functions.
It's a puzzle to figure out.
Got to find a big old power source to slap in there. But even for now, the ship is at the point where it will run, and the right wing gun works.
Getting a lot closer.
Yeah. It is at the point you could take it for a test flight if you'd like.
Oh, might want to spend a few days in the simulation before we do that.
Yeah. I was going to say, I mean, you don't really have pilot's proficiency yet, so...
Yeah, I don't really want to just crash and burn and die like that. That'd be weird.
He's at the
Watch
second
this! Watch me hit
What
this
is that
loop.
flying
and stall
object
out.
coming at the tower? Yeah. You think Fi decides it better not to just jump in and start flying, but the ship is at the point where it will run as the engines start up. As the engines were up, the coupling that you set up and everything, both of them finally, start in time, which was the problem you were having. And this like white hot blue flame shoots out of the back with these little like stardust particles coming off of it. Again, you don't really understand where this comes from yet, but you know for sure it's not from like your world.
I pretty much just find whoever is nearest by and say, Wyerth is almost ready to go.
Did anybody go with Fi to Moya?
I probably would have.
This thing could technically go right now.
Well,
Rock says he's on the way. Oh.
okay, let's do it.
He really was on the way. He did not lie.
What's up?
What's up, my dude? Perfect timing. So little. No, you're good. A little catch up. Oh, go ahead.
We should go short.
He's talking to the Bullywugs.
He's at battle right now. Don't worry about it.
The Bullywug just asked him for permission to go ashore. Captain.
No.
Captain,
Okay.
I heard there's a lot of brothels here. I would like permission to leave ship.
Okay, I'm good. I'm clear now.
All right, dope. Yeah. So little catch up. All that's really happened is this is the evening you guys got back. This is just the evening of you guys like finishing up stuff you want to take care of before the next day of classes starts. So you haven't missed too much. There was a little bit of conversation that happened. The party decided that they probably, because of the laws are in hell, kind of protect you guys still. Probably did want to go to the Hell Council meeting with Hades because the laws there protect you guys from being attacked or charged with anything while you're there as emissaries. And even Asmodeus, if he tried to break that law, it would really fuck things up for him. So there was that. Fi worked on his ship a little bit. Valmoria started trying to learn how to use her sun rifle. Who else did stuff? Orion. What did Orion do?
Learned Modron.
Talk to Clarence.
Yeah, Orion talked to Clarence and learned Modron. What does Rock want to do with his evening?
Rock wants to try. How is it? Rock wants to try talking with his armor again.
Ah, the classic.
Yeah, that, and he also wants to train on seeing if he could generate. When he rages, how he does the radiant damage. He wants to see if he could try to do that without it, but no, it's not going to work in game. But I want him to start training on that.
So what I'll say is, it would have been the same day earlier when you talked to your armor, so your armor's probably just kind of dormant for the day. Probably have to wait for it to, again, get a little more energy back before it's at full. Because it being in hell as an abyssal creature really kind of threw it out of whack. So I'll say probably tomorrow your armor would be up for a conversation, but as far as training, go ahead and roll me an attack roll. And then additionally, on top of that, roll me a D100.
Can someone roll that for me? I'm still walking here. I'm not set up yet.
Yeah, somebody wants to roll for... Somebody roll the D100, I'll roll the attack roll.
Bet. I got you, Rock. I won't let you down. I won't let you down. 96.
Damn, that is really fucking good.
96.
Okay. So Rock rolled a 22 on the attack. On the D100, he got a 96. So I think you spend a couple of hours practicing with some like training dummies and everything like that. Towards the end of it, you're going through the motions and realizing that like the divinity that you currently use is not something you control in the way that the extra like damage that you get, it's always only on the first strike that you land, right? In Rock, you have no way to prolong that, and you're thinking about, okay, so why is it only on the first part of my attack that this divinity is coming through? And I think Rock has a moment where he kind of sits back and thinks, and he's like, I think it's because I am expending all of my energy at the beginning of my attack as opposed to pacing myself. And I think that Rock realizes that in addition in a normal battle where pacing yourself is important, pacing yourself with divinity is equally as important if you're going to use it. So I think on a 22 and a 96, Rock, you have a moment where you're swinging your axe and you go through a flurry of attacks, 4 or 5 at a time. And for some reason, in this flurry of attacks, the first one hits, you see a flash of light. The second one hits and you don't. But then the third one hits and you see an even brighter flash of this kind of grayish white light that shoots out that is not the same color as the light that shoots out from the first attack. The first attack is usually like a gold kind of crackling lightning type of anger, but this other one is more of a cool mist almost. And where you hit the dummy, you see it cracks in the chest and out from the wound pours this like silver mist.
Awesome.
So, not quite there yet, but there's something there. Rock definitely feels that there's something there. So, with that, Amara, what are you doing for the evening?
I was thinking about it, and because I made that deal, right?
Correct.
What do I need to do or like investigate? Do I need to go to like the library?
I mean, it's kind of up to you. The deal that you made was that Carcerai wanted to be let free. There was no time frame. There was no specifics. It was that he doesn't like being stuck down there, and you're going to get him out of there. So whichever way you think would be the best way to go about that.
Can I go to the library? Would they have like books about him just so I could like know more of
I mean, yeah, it's a
him?
wizard library. There's definitely stuff on infernal, figures, especially ones that are that important.
I would like to learn some information about him.
So you head off to the library. I don't know if anybody goes with you. You can go alone if you like. But you head off to the library. You walk in. It's kind of later in the evening, so most of the staff has gone. A lot of the students have headed out for the day. There's only a few kind of more studious students off in the corners peering through tomes. You go ahead and roll me an investigation with advantage.
No, go back.
A 21. So you look around for a while. It takes you a couple minutes because it's just such a large library, but eventually you leaf through to an infernal section. You see at the top, there's like, it's almost separated by the different layers of hell, some of the, ninth through the first of individuals, and then kind of off to the right, there's a section that's labeled Hades and stuff. There's not a ton of books over here. A lot of it is very limited information because it's not a place a ton of people know about. But there are a couple of books on the deities here, one specifically that goes over a few of the important figures in this pantheon. There's Hades, of course. There's his wife, Persephone, who's like a goddess of spring and life and that kind of thing. And she spends the winters in Hades with her husband. There's also Carcerai, who was Hades' best friend, and additionally, Carcerai was the individual who, whenever Hades and his brothers trapped their father Kronos, who was the titan who ate them as they were born, and tried to kill them because he was worried that they were going to be the end of him. Carcerai's chains were what allowed Hades and his brothers to trap Kronos in the abyss of Hades. Also in Hades, there are different levels. There is the Pits of Tartarus, which is the lowest level. It's where Cronus was held and the deepest, darkest souls go. There are the Asphodel Fields, which is somewhat like a limbo. It's where the souls who did nothing great nor awful in their life kind of stay. And then there's Elysium, which is essentially heaven. The domain of Hades himself, his place that connects to hell, is called the Temple of Styx.
All right.
Yeah. Additionally, I'll give you that roughly 3,500 years ago, due to unknown reasons, there was a coup in hell that Hades had chosen to be on the wrong side of. He had tried to overthrow Asmodeus with a number of other demon lords, and whenever Asmodeus won and cut them back down to size, he was not able to get rid of Hades due to his importance in the procession of souls and the river Styx in hell. Having that flow and function is incredibly important. So instead, he took his first general and best friend Carcerai and enslaved him to ensure that Hades would be subservient. And I'll also say the leader of the coup against Asmodeus was Mephistopheles.
Mephistopheles?
Yeah, Mr. Mephistopheles.
Mr. and Mrs. Stopford's.
All of those guys couldn't do it. We definitely are gonna have to wait a long time before we try.
Yeah.
I will say a lot of the Inferno books say that coup failed, not because they didn't have the power, but because of the hubris and infighting of the other lords, because they all wanted to be the one that took the seat.
Okay.
It does say that Hades was not really involved in the battle for power. He just wanted Asmodeus deseated, but even then, even though he didn't want to take the throne, he was still punished as somebody who dissented.
Gotcha.
I think the issue is that the only way we're gonna get him out anytime soon is if we were to. And I imagine his perception of time is probably a little skewed, but like if we were
They're demons. To them, 100 years isn't very long.
Yeah, like if we were gonna try to get him out at the meeting, it would have to be like a deal with Asmodeus, and I mean, we know how that usually goes.
I don't want to make a deal with him. It's the last thing I need. Oh, well, sounds good.
All right.
I'll just have
So
to figure it
Valmoria,
out.
you grab the information. I'll say that you take a couple of books, you check some out on the topic, so you can kind of go over them a little more deeply, and you head back. So with that, we will, in the evening, all of you head back, finish up, have dinner or snacks, and head to bed for the night. You awake the next morning, bright and early, ready to do whatever you want for the day. I take it everybody's going to attend their classes?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
All right. So
Yes.
for Metal and Damien, we haven't like fully picked our classes yet, but there's some obvious ones your characters would be in. Like Fi would be in the artificing class and stuff like that. Actually, I need to ask you something, Damien.
I'm gonna give Amara a swirly and shove her into the locker.
Oh, well, rude.
I'm cool with whatever you want on that, Damien. I didn't know.
And I'm gonna say, Yu-Gi-Oh, can you walk me to my
Okay.
class?
That makes sense. Can you
Oh, God.
shut the fuck up? All right. So, you guys go through some of the required classes that you went through your first day again. They're all much more tame today. You go through magical auras with Professor Ruxa. I will say since Damien and Metal are here now, we'll actually do the actual thing because if I can find it. Where is it?
An aura class.
I go to
Shut
viewing
the
class.
fuck up.
I don't need that.
You freaking goofs.
Who is moving Clay around?
I go to-
That boy- that
I
boy
am.
shuffling
I
around.
am.
He's guarding his.
Can I go
his room.
to Skibidi Toilet Lore class?
Shut up.
That
Shut
word
up.
is banned here.
Shut up.
We do not speak that
That's
word.
enough.
It's a no word.
So no word.
Skibbity.
Y'all happen to serve a double chunk chocolate cookie.
Shut the fuck up.
I can't find the
I prefer
class for basic
chicken
magical
bake
auras,
myself.
but I'll make it work. So for Akar and Phi, you guys follow everybody. So you guys are going to the required classes for everybody in their first year. The first one you go to is basic magical auras with Professor Rex. So you guys walk in, and Phi, it's weirdly like a little familiar to you because this is a 12-foot tall bear man. He's just a bear that walks on his back legs. He's got these little spectacles on and a long robe. He's got a big tome underneath his arm and some stuff like clipped on a belt that he wears around his waist. You walk in, there's this huge kind of amphitheater. It's rectangular with seats that go like 40 rows back up in a like angled upwards, kind of lifted up like a normal college room. He's standing on a wooden stage. There's a lectern, like a podium in front of him. And behind him on the wall, a bunch of different tables. Room kind of curves around where the tables are in the back, and you see different tomes and sigils, a bunch of spell scrolls and stuff like that. And he's just standing at the front, kind of patiently waiting for everybody to file in as you guys walk into the room.
Interesting bear man.
Of course, sit next to my King Rock.
Yeah. Rock, this is also the first class you've attended since you overslept the first day.
Really? Are you sure? Could have sworn I
Yeah,
was
no,
in
the
class before.
very first day you had classes, you overslept, and then after that, you guys started doing all the crazy shit. You haven't been back since.
That's right. That's right.
So you go and you sit with all of your buddies. There's a large group of you. There's a good amount of students in this class, probably 80, 85 total, a lot of the first years. Everybody sits down. Professor kind of looks around. He smiles and says, "It's good to see more of the class present today. How is everyone this morning?
I'm good.
Good.
I asked how you are.
Good. Sir?
Very well.
Good. Very good.
I'm okay.
To those of you that missed," and he nods to you, and you guys also look off to the right, and they, weirdly enough, they're sitting like closer to you guys. Everyone besides Jaren and Inafir from the other party are also in this class, and they like kind of look over. Wave Gwig looks over at you guys and like waves really fast to you guys. Zanzos kind of like winks at you, Rock, and they're all in this class too. They're kind of sitting over there.
Baby,
Professor
come
says,
here.
Who's Anzos? What? Valmoria Zanzos romance?
Fucking Jaruga.
"My sweet lizard man."
I'm talking to the dog, I swear.
Zanzos
Or
is a
Zanzos
dog.
getting sexually harassed.
Yeah.
Zanzal, please don't title
I
9
don't
me. I
like
was talking to the dog.
It's feeling like a piece of meat. So, Professor looks and he says, he says, fucking wrong voice. He says, "It's good to see all of you that were missing back to class. You did not miss much the first week, was mainly going over the very basics. But for those of you here, or who are not here, I am Professor Ursa. I will be your teacher in magical auras, obviously. That's the class you must take. First class, I asked a few of you to show your defensive skills, and you delivered. For those of you new, do you have any experience with magical auras? Are you spellcasters, or is this simply a study for you?
My aura is magical.
What do you say?
I'm sorry, I was speaking out loud.
Okay. He kind of looks at you a little bit puzzled. He's like, okay. He looks at the rest of you. He looks at you, Fi, in a car, kind of quizzically.
Just snap and cast light.
Well, I guess that is a magical aura. Fair enough.
I just ooh, I want to do something too, and I do the sword thing.
The flame sword. Fi
Yeah.
pulls out a flaming sword. He's like, that is definitely not a magical aura, but cool. Nonetheless, cool.
Yeah,
Also,
just pretty
put that
neat.
out before you set my classroom on fire, please.
Yeah, and I put it out.
Can I hit
Yeah.
something, seeing if I could put Divine Fury on it?
He looks as you get up with your weapon. He goes, please do not destroy my class.
Right up.
He just like massacres the student in front of
I just kill him, right? Oh, God. Jesus.
Hey, Kettle said it was okay.
Professor kind of looks around and he says, very well. We will get started for the class. Today, we will be learning specifically about abjurative auras, things to protect you and your friends. I feel as if some of you have some experience with this, but spells like the protection spells, protection from evil and good, things like that. Does anyone in the class have the ability to cast these spells?
I'll raise my hand. I do.
I raise my hand.
Do I? Hold on, I don't remember.
I don't know if you do. Fine. It's a good check to look.
sand coughing him, Yu-Gi-Oh.
I'm not very good with this whole magic thing.
Get it together.
I'm trying.
Wait, are you saying like similar spells to that, or that spell
Just
specifically?
things like that are abjurative. Like the shield spell is an abjuration spell, but he's asking specifically for like auras that protect.
Oh,
I don't think Fi can cast protection. You can cast protection from poison, but I believe that's the only one you get.
Oh,
I think I
Amara,
can
you
make that
got
dome
no
like
aura.
I did.
He,
guard.
He raises and he says, "Everyone able to cast the protection from good and evil spell, please come to the front of the class."
Bro.
I'll stand up. Wait.
Yeah, Valmoria.
I walk behind her.
Are you making those noises as you're walking down?
No.
She be hanging around the Bullywugs too much.
Yeah.
Splooge is in the rafters watching. Speaking of, what did
Like,
you
what
guys
you said about my mother?
Did you Splooge is just on the ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he brings you guys up to the front. He goes to the corner of the room, and you see with one hand he pulls this giant chest out to the middle of the room. Huge, probably like 4 foot tall chest. And as he moves it, you see it start to like shake really hard. He looks at all of you. He says, "Now, all of you at the same time, there's you guys and maybe 2 or 3 other students, are at the same time going to cast the spell. And I'm going to release whatever's in this chest. If you cast the spell correctly, it will protect you."
Okay.
Asmodeus.
Gotcha.
Surprise.
He's like, "Haha, joke's on you fuckers.
Like, grabs him on.
You're coming with me, back in the chest." So, do you guys what do you guys do on the stage?
Oh wait, question.
Mhm.
Can I cast this right now, even if I don't have it prepared?
I believe they're ritual spells, so yeah.
Mm-mm.
But
We're
even if they're
checked.
not for this, I'll allow it since it's a
Okay, cool.
school thing. That's fine.
Okay, I just want to double check.
I think
No,
my
return to your
Tabaxi
seat.
friend right here can cast it too. Go ahead and get up there.
What? Who me? Naru.
Me?
I don't got nothing. Nothing.
No aura.
Goddamn son, bitch.
All right. So do you guys on the stage start to cast the spell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
All right. So after a short moment of you guys all kind of casting the spell, you guys in the classroom all watches these halos of different colored light all appear around these people. Everyone seems to be dependent on where they draw their power from. Akara's is kind of like this blue fire-ish halo. Valmoria's is this kind of green with like wind moving around her. A couple of the other students have different colors. One is just like a bright golden light. One has more of a silver kind of looks like Professor Talonrook's. That kind of thing. And you guys watch as the room just illuminates with all of these people casting this spell, and they all have these halos of light around their head that seem to emanate this aura. And you watch as Professor Ursa goes behind the chest and just as hard as he can kicks it over on the ground, and the top of the lid just opens up, and you guys watch as this kind of like nasty, rotting skeleton figure crawls out and starts moving towards you guys. It gets about 5 feet, and then all of a sudden you guys just hear this like super gnarly like scream as the light hits it, and its skin just starts to melt and burn, and it falls to a pile of bones on the ground.
Well,
I clap my
shit.
hands.
Gabe alone claps.
Ooh, let's go.
Yeah. The professor nods. He smiles. Says, "Good job. It was a rather weak skeleton, but the point is made that these types of spells, in certain situations, can cause the right enemy to be all but unable to harm you. So for the rest of class, we'll be practicing the spell for those that are able to spellcast, and for those that do not, we will be doing a small study out of the book, and you'll be observing the people who can. So for the rest of this class, all of you guys roll me a collective intelligence check.
Bookwork. Lame. Watch this.
Yeah, the professor goes, "Shut up, bitch."
Oh my god.
I got no intelligence.
See, here's the thing for me. I'm so bothered with the skeleton.
Didn't mean to do
It
that at
cancels out
advantage.
the 2 failures.
According to my calculations.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Okay, guys. All right, guys. I'm gonna need guys.
Yeah.
Guys.
I'm trying
I'll
my
tell you
best.
why-
Oh
No,
my
I'll
tell you why I rolled
god.
real
Guys.
Dude!
Guys.
I is so bothered by the skeleton. He's like, "Do you think Sammy knew that guy?"
Oh my god.
Oh.
Can I chrono shift any of these?
Yeah, I'll let you chrono shift one person.
I think
Rock. Wait, no. Wait. Hold on. Who's got a high multi?
me,
Could I use my-
Valmoria.
Phi has the highest.
Oh yeah, 5. Yeah, 5. And his
Phi
also
does,
counts as
the
2
Phi-
failures.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't really. Yeah, reroll fast, please.
So
We just got
reroll
back
again.
from hell and
Yeah.
everything. You know, that was really crazy. You know,
Just
it's...
you smack me in the back of the head and watch this.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Hell yeah.
It was
Hell
not meant to
no.
be. It was not meant to be.
I'm so bothered by that skeleton. I think it may be
Yeah,
Sammy's
Fi's
cousin
got
or
me
something
thinking
like
about it. I
that.
was like, dude, what if that was Sammy's like brother or something, man? What if that was like
What if that was one of his crewmates?
Goes.
Oh,
So you guys really struggle with this lesson. You guys, I mean, Akar does fine, Yu-Gi-Oh does fine. Valmoria, you can cast the spell, but even then, you just cannot, for the life of you, explain it to other people. You cannot, for some reason, explain how you do it.
Basically,
I'm just really
Yeah.
tore up about that skeleton right
Yeah,
now.
you're
kind
just
of
like,
just-
I don't know, I just do it. Like that's like your that's
it
your
just
thing.
comes natural to me. I don't know what you want me to tell
Yeah,
you.
and then all the wizards are like, okay, we get it. You can do magic without studying.
You know what? Fuck you.
Oh my
Damn.
would've
Sick and tired of these
one of the
losers.
like this like small gnomish wizard in the back. He's like probably like 18 years old. Stands up. He's got like a little baby goatee. He goes, "I challenge you to a duel to defend my honor."
All right, fucker. Let's duel. All right, fucker. Let's do this shit.
To the dueling ring.
To the dueling ring, bitch.
Okay.
Probably just gets up and he looks emotional like, I can't be here right now, guys. I'm too
He's
broke up
level
about this.
16 with 238 health.
Professor Ursula looks at it and goes, "Well, I
Mm.
guess we'll say class is over for the day. For those of you that were having a rough time, you are welcome to come in for tutoring to supplement your grade. But seems as if tensions are getting heated, so enjoy the rest of your day."
I'm gonna console Fi on the way back. Hey,
I want to go up to Valmoria and be like, "Are you sure you want to fight the wizard? Are you sure?"
Bro,
are
he
you
looked like
doubting
a bitch.
Valmoria? Hey, let's
No,
go,
bro,
Why are you
Valmoria.
doubting
Hey,
me?
Valmoria, let's
Lamar, you're
go.
supposed to be my wife.
Hey, let's
No,
go.
I just want to make sure. I don't want you to get hurt because I love you.
I'm gonna grab Valmoria by the shoulders and say, "Let's go." Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her,
I'm gonna-
Valmoria.
Fuck you, Orion.
I'm gonna massage her like shoulders, like she's like a boxer. Like, come on. Let's go.
While we're walking there, can I cast Gift of Alacrity on Valmoria? Oh, if she wants me to.
Hold on, give me just a moment.
I keep telling her, "Let's go, Valmoria." Like me, I'm hyping her up. Rock's coaching her.
Well,
He's
they're
like
trying to hype her
18.
up.
I'm
He's
like,
we just witnessed
how
the
old am I
murder in
again?
there.
Like 500 and something.
501.
Eyes really going through.
Yeah,
right
that'd
now.
be really embarrassing if you lost Valmoria.
Would be.
Good thing you're not going to though.
No,
Exactly.
I believe in you. I wasn't down to you. I was just.
Oh, we're gonna break it to
making
Sammy. I don't know what we're gonna do.
I need a moment to think about this.
Oh man, he's
putting
gonna be really
all my
broke up about
remaining
this.
gold on Valmoria.
Yeah, I want to be a
Okay.
trainer. I want to be in the sidelines.
Here we go. So you guys all file out and head towards the Aerogaunt field.
Oh, that dude looks like a fucking
That boy.
nerd. I'm
Oh,
actually,
that boy.
I'm
That boy
actually.
clean.
You look like that too.
He looked
You
like a
guys see-
fucking nerd.
You guys see in the stands that one halfling dude that was watching whenever the other party was fighting like weeks ago is also still in the stands. he just seems to come here a lot.
It's
He
entertaining.
like waves. He's like, "What?" As you guys walk in.
He said, "Woo!"
All right. You watch as this
Wait.
little wizard guy like hobbles over to the other side. He's got this little blue robe on, and he pulls out like
Well, I'm
a
gonna feel
wand of
bad.
some kind.
I'm gonna feel bad.
No, don't. No second thoughts now,
We're still
Valmoria.
really-
Go, go.
No second thoughts
No,
now.
no more.
Okay.
Is this weapons or just spells?
It's a duel.
Whatever you
Shit!
want.
I pull my sword out.
Okay.
She pulls out her gun.
I'm gonna say for the sake of this that none of you guys are gonna be able to put like supplemental spells on Valmoria. It's just gonna be a 1v1.
I'm not going to anyway.
Surprise! This is how Val dies, guys.
This all her.
Not from Asmodeus.
Well, if
All
it
right.
gets to that
Go ahead and
point.
roll. Go ahead and roll initiative.
What am I doing with my life?
All right.
What
You got a
is Valmoria
19.
doing?
Ooh,
Oh my.
Let's go.
lucky you.
Let's go.
Oh my.
All right.
Boy,
You
don't
go
lose.
first.
I'll come out.
Hold on. Let me expand the character sheet.
Wish.
I cast wish. No, I don't. Hold on. Scroll down.
Here, hold this real quick.
Forward to
Black
kid.
hole.
Hands up a bomb. Can you hold this for me?
Oh, I have to walk over to him, don't I?
Yeah. There's a bunch of
Go.
distance between you guys.
1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm gonna move. I think
It's
I
really
can.
funny if you start beating him up and the whole time was a misunderstanding and it was just like a Tetris duel. He's just
I
on
thought
the
we were
floor
1v1ing on Valorant.
No.
What are
Yeah,
you doing
I'm
to
gonna
me?
move. I can't fucking see with your goddamn arrow. I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20. Move here. And then.
Yeah, convince this guy to join you so you can fight with.
Hey.
Are you trying to jump this guy?
Let me see how much it would be.
He said you-
Rise.
He said your mama a bitch.
60. Oh,
I heard him.
hold on. It's loading very slowly.
Alright. I'm on the side. I'm like, B, A,
Give me a V. Give me an A.
He has all the letters painted at different
Yeah.
parts on his body, and he's like spinning around.
It's such a long name. It's like any the letters are.
And it's
like,
not- it's not
wrong.
even
The last
spelled
are on
right
the bottom
either.
of his feet.
Yeah.
It's like from palm to palm. I'm just like T-posing,
Across
just
your
spinning in
chest.
the circle.
No,
Just
let's
across my
let's
chest.
have Clay do that.
The name is just
write
spelled
Val's
horribly.
name.
It's like B-O.
It was like Jesus on the
J.
cross.
Yeah.
Mama.
And can I cast Tidal Wave on him?
What's the range?
120 feet.
Yeah, he's going to counterspell.
Oh, what a loser.
Of course he fucking is. What
Tidal
a
Wave is
bitch.
a 3rd level spell.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, he's a 3rd level counterspell, so your spell fizzles.
You're a loser.
Just want to shout at him. That's why you a bitch.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Tell him.
I feel sure.
All right, anything else for you? Bonus action. I think you're out of movement, but you still have bonus action.
Let me see.
Yu-Gi-Oh, not now. We watching the fight. What are you doing?
Behind the bleachers. Behind the bleachers.
Guess who? Guess who?
Alright, while this is
Got
going
your
on,
phone.
did you want to send out a text to Brain and Compton earlier?
Sure.
Cool.
Do I have to use an action or a bonus action to do Blade Song?
It takes a bonus action, so you would be able to enter it as a bonus action. Yeah.
Why you do that?
Yeah, I'll use bonus action and cast Blade Song.
Okay, so that bumps your. So that means you actually have 10 more feet of movement now,
Dope.
and then your AC jumps by
To 19.
3 to 19. Yeah. So you guys watch as this is the first time you guys have seen it. Valmoria pulls out her sword, and then instead of fighting like normally, she pauses, takes a breath, and starts to move in like this dance pattern. She starts like dancing across the battlefield.
Oh hell nah! What the?
Boogie bomb, bro. Got hit with the boogie bomb.
Jiggy with it.
With the boogie bomb. That's fucking funny.
Valmoria, now not the time. Why are you hitting like?
I kind of cheers fire up a little bit. Seeing
In the
that.
back of the ear, and I just
All right, I'm good now.
Yeah, I feel like the more the time to listen to some hippie shit, dude.
So this guy has 25 feet of movement.
Not thinking about Sammy's dead relative as much now.
25.
He looks like Mega 9.
So he like skitters over. He's like really fast with little feet. He's going to try and hit you with a 5th level lightning bolt.
Yeah.
I count spell.
You counterspell. What you're counterspelling at level 3.
Is it a level 3 if I expend the charge
So
of my sword?
how counterspell works is if counterspell meets the level or is higher than the spell that is cast, it immediately counters it with no roll, right? So like he's casting a 5th level spell.
Right.
So if you cast a 5th level counterspell, which I don't think you have, but if you did, that would instantly
You
counter it. But you can use a 3rd level counterspell and then roll the Arcana check.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
Rock, these wizard fights are boring.
Can I use my inspiration for advantage?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
If it was me down there, I would have either blown him up or shot him between the eyes by now.
A 20 will do it. So, and just so you know, the spell DC is always 10 plus the spell's level. So it would have been a 15. So 20 beats it. He goes and you watch lightning start to crackle in his hands, and you just kind of like point at him, and the lightning just disappears, and he's like, "Ow."
Yeah, bitch. How you
He's
like them
going
apples?
to-
Yeah, great.
I would have eaten them already.
I would have been in his face by now.
Mm-hmm.
Going hands.
I would have been giving him sloppy.
You would have what, Yu-Gi-Oh?
Jesus Christ.
Yo, pause.
Yu-Gi-Oh, that guy just turned 18.
Yu-Gi-Oh, you're a predator.
We been know that, bro. We been know.
Okay, so as a bonus action, you
Oh, God.
see
I don't like that
he
it's not first.
pulls out his spell book and throws it into the air. And it flies 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet to right there.
Rock is getting some nasty
Okay.
back shots.
And his spell book is floating on its own.
Okay. Is it doing anything else? It's just floating there?
Not that you can see at the moment. It's just, it opens up and it's pointing towards you.
Gotcha.
If I roll detect magic, would that do anything?
It would be a spell because, I mean, I'll let you roll an Arcana if you want just another one to see if you know what he's doing.
An orca.
On a 20, an orca.
Just out of the water, starts flopping on the ground.
So you you see that basically the spellbook he threw out, his spellbook when he threw it out turned like spectral. On a 23, I'll give you he's something called an Order of Scribes wizard. His spellbook is sentient and can move and cast spells on its own.
Of course I can.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. They can't do much else, but like their spellbook is also its own entity.
Quit glazing,
like this
Yu-Gi-Oh!
I like this guy.
Then go
Bruh.
ask him out on a date.
But that's all he's gonna do for his turn. That's all he can do. So it's back to you.
If I have Blade Song activated, can I wild shape?
Yes, if
Or
you
will it
activate it before you wild shape, yes, you can.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna wild shape into
Sure.
a.
Not a dog.
what
We're in
was I gonna do?
Springville. that wizard's from Springville. Don't do it.
You turn into a cat and he goes,
Wait, what?
delicious.
Yeah, he's looking at Amara right now. Look at his.
Don't look at me.
I want to
Amara, he
turn
from Springville. You
into
cooked.
I gotta go.
a giant toad.
A giant toad. Fair enough. So you turn
Big
into a
toad.
giant toad. It's just going to be Big Valmoria for now.
Amara just leaves.
Big Valmoria. Big Valmoria's got. Shit, where's it at? I just fucking had it. 20 feet of movement. So she's gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20.
Everybody's like, damn. this shit
Well, the
lame.
Blade Song is that, so you get another 10 on top of that.
Oh shit!
Remember, Blade Song always gives you an extra 10 feet of
Oh,
movement.
vor him.
For him.
That was your bonus action, your movement. You still have an action.
I want to try to swallow him.
Oh, whoa.
Go for it. So what's the DC on the strength check?
Uh.
I think it's like 12 or 14.
Oh no, I have to.
It should say on the stat block with like the
I have to
tongue
do
grapple.
I have to bite him first, and then he'll be grappled. If the attack hits, he'll be swallowed.
So you'll roll in a bite first, and then you have to swallow him on the next turn. Okay.
I just
So go ahead and
tried to do
roll
the same
a-
thing to Yu-Gi-Oh!
Roll a d20 plus whatever it says to add.
D20. She ain't grappling shit.
Yeah, 5 plus. I think you get like a +8. That's still not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So you turn into a giant toad, hop up to him, you lash out. He's just really tiny, so he just kind of ducks you. He's like, whoo, 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 just kind of like moving back and forth really quick in front of you. I think that'll be your turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he's first going to Misty Step. 5, 10,
Oh, what a
15, 20,
loser.
25, 30. On
Why
this
he
little
avoiding
ledge
the
right
fight?
because you're like 30 times his size. His spell book is going to turn to you. Let's see what he's got in the tank.
9th level fireball. Y'all see that shit going on in Waterdeep?
Fucking weird.
It's just crazy.
Can't
Can't believe they let him do that.
Candy all the time.
So the book is going to do. What's the book going to do? Come on.
It's too stunned to speak. The book's gonna do nothing.
Yeah. The book is going to cast Big B's hand.
Of course it is. I was gonna say, can I throw up shield, but I can't cast in wild shape.
Yeah. Well, and Bigby's hand is also its own entity. So in addition to that, next to you, you see a big old fucking hand appear next to you. Just a giant hand.
Cool. A big hot pink hand.
This little gnome guy's a loser.
Literally. Can't even fight his own fights, man. I bet you do.
All right. So he is going to move you for a second. He's going to put the hand between you and him as an interposing hand. So it stays in between you and him, and he has half cover against you. And to move through it, you have to make a strength check.
Okay, so my strength has +2. Oh, do I keep my normal stats or do I get those stats?
You take the physical stats, but you keep your mental stats. So strength, dex, and con are the animals, but the mental ones are yours.
Okay, so what do I need to roll?
It'd be on your turn if you want to get next to him. You can roll to push through the hand.
Okay, cool.
But for now, a giant purple hand just appears in front of you and just does the fucking talk to the hand thing and just stands in front of you.
I would say I would flick it off, but I don't know if toads have that kind of appendage.
I mean, a toad with 3 toes, just the middle one. And then the spellbook is gonna move around you a little bit.
Oh, so 3v1 right now.
Yeah. Now it's your turn.
Yeah, I'll roll a strength to get around it. With the rat.
Yeah, go ahead and just roll a strength. It would be a d20 plus 2. It's athletics technically, so it'd be 2 plus 5. So it'd be plus 5, a d20 plus 5 total. A 15. The hand's gonna roll a check because it has its own stats. I'm gonna tell you right now, the hand strength is 26. So it gets a plus 8.
Well, fuck me.
But a 6 plus 8 is a 14, so you still win.
Yes!
So you push through the hand, push it to the side, and you're right up on him.
Okay. Now I want to roll to bite him.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a d20. It'll be plus 8.
Come on.
I don't remember if Bigby's hands is concentration or not.
Oh,
there you go. So an 18 plus 8 is a 24, even with a shield that won't stop it. Yeah, so go ahead and roll damage.
1d10 plus 2. That's what it is.
Okay, he takes 8 damage.
And then the target is grappled. The one, is he a medium or small target?
He's a small creature.
Okay, then the target is swallowed. The grappled ends. It takes 3d6 acid damage at the start of each of the toad's turns. So.
Is the swallow an automatic thing, or does it have to roll for that?
It says the toad makes one bite attack against a medium or smaller target. It is grappled. If the attack hits, the target is swallowed and the grappled ends. The swallowed target is blinded and restrained. It has total coverage against attacks and other effects outside of the toad, and it takes 3d6 acid damage at the start of each of the toads.
Okay, so how it works is you made the bite attack. Okay. Also roll another d10 in poison damage.
Yeah, that's what I would have did.
So you bite him, the toad poison sinks into his vein, he goes, ah! 66. So now that you have him bitten, on your next turn, now that he's grappled, he can't move, you can make another bite attack if he can't break the grapple, and then you swallow him. That's how it works.
Okay, cool.
So right now he gets one chance to break the grapple, but that's it. So that'll be your turn. So first thing he's gonna do is on his the beginning of his turn, he's going to try to break the grapple. But a 7 plus 0 doesn't do it. He's
No,
fucked.
it does not.
A grappled creature cannot misty step away. That's true.
Just concede,
Huh.
little wizard man.
Lucky little wizard boy. Oh, I don't like that.
He's going to try and cast banishment on you.
Oh
God damn.
my fuck.
Make a charisma saving throw.
This bro just-
Hey, we win these. We win.
Hold on.
You were
No,
trying to
my
beat an
charisma-
18.
Yeah.
My charisma is shit.
Yo, give me a B. Give me an A. Give me an L.
I don't remember the rest.
I don't remember that.
Hold on. Go, 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 Power Rangers.
Oh, that's so
No,
tough.
Silverguard, I can't cast
Okay.
in Wild Shape. Motherfucker.
Oh, you can't.
I thought that was-
I love when the student tells on themselves.
Oh no.
That has not changed yet. The new wild shape spells have not come out yet, and silvery barbs is not one of them either way. So
I like to use this.
Valmoria, in such an advantageous position, looking like she's about to win, this little fellow reaches out, touches the giant toe's face, and is gone.
Valmoria?
He gets up,
I
he
like
dusts
to
himself,
jump
he
in
dusts
and
himself
beat
off. He goes, I win, I win.
Yeah,
Can I
you
jump in
won.
and beat his ass?
Yeah, bring her back or we're gonna kill you.
No, I won. The school says you can't do anything to me when I win a duel. Plus, the spell ends in a minute, so she'll be back in a minute at the latest. But I can bring her back whenever. But I need all of you to say that I won.
Don't do it. Don't do
Can
it.
you do
Don't do it.
somatic? Can you do somatic components while grappled?
Yes.
If it has a
you can.
gesture?
Shit.
Yes, you can.
If only
Rock,
it
as you
would've
go
been
to
a
enter,
champion.
the night guard steps up in front of you and stops you.
Can I
He puts his hand on your chest. A voice comes out of the helmet and says, a voice comes out of the helmet and says, "This fight was sanctioned by the school. There will be no interference."
I'm not saying you won.
Okay. I'm just gonna look over his shoulder. Can I intimidate him to bring Valmoria back right now?
I'm gonna say this dude just like won his fight. I don't think he's susceptible to that right now. Plus, he's got a 12-foot tall guard blocking his way.
Yo.
He looks around. He says, "If you say I win, I'll let your friend come back right now. I need a win. I need a
back
win.
in
You
a
guys
minute
don't get it.
anyway."
I need a win."
Yeah, you said she's coming back in a minute anyway.
Yeah, but I could just cast the spell again.
Well, the fight's over, then you'd be starting a new one.
No, the fight's not over till it's acknowledged that I win.
Oh, then we'll just wait.
Oh wait.
Oh wait, if question above table, if I get banished, do I come back in wild shape or do I come back as Valmoria?
You would come back in the form that you left in, but a car, roll me an Arcana check.
Oh god.
I'm just in hell with Asmodeus, guys. It's pretty lit down here.
Valmoria is currently not in hell, by the way. Valmoria, you just get sent to like a place in space. You're just kind of floating right
It's
now.
kinda dope. Not gonna lie to y'all.
Yeah, you're just
Kinda
chilling.
quiet here.
Like you don't need oxygen. You're just floating in space. There's like stars all around you. You're just chilling.
I'm like, oh my god, pretty. Don't bring me back. Just stay
A 25
here.
Arcana. A car. You know that this kid like doesn't really have any intention to harm Valmoria. He just wants to win the fight. But you know that he has a blatant misunderstanding of how banishment works. And if he doesn't choose to bring her back within a minute, she doesn't come back.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and cast that again and bring her back.
He says, "Everybody says I win, and I'll bring her back right now."
Everybody says you bring her back, or I'll make sure that you get to visit Asmodeus personally.
I don't make the rules. You can't touch me. The school says so. And the knight
I
nods
can
his head. And he
touch
says,
you.
the knight nods his head and he says, "The rules are clear. There can be no intervention."
But we don't decide if he wins. That's up to their party, no?
Valmoria. Isn't that up to the Valmoria? Where that?
The knight looks around. He says, "Generally, in practice, the decider of the winner is the crowd."
Fuck. How much time do we have left?
Well, yeah.
Been about 24 seconds.
We gotta say, just say he wins, we'll beat his ass later. We'll fight him behind the school and just fucking jump his ass.
Okay.
You win.
You won. Oh, good fight. Wow, you're so big and
Yay.
strong and totally not like, tiny or anything. Wow.
Good job. Go you.
He looks at you guys. He goes, "Was that so hard?"
No.
Shut up, just
Not
bring
at
her back,
all.
dude.
Hey, man, you don't get it. You don't understand. You're tall and got it figured out. You don't get it.
My grandpa's short and he's got it figured out, so you can do it too. Bring it back.
Alright, well, we gotta take one for the team.
What?
Go say what's up. Go holler at your boy.
What's your favorite color?
So,
And
Well,
he snaps his fingers. Giant toad Valmoria appears. The knight steps in the middle. He says, "The fight has been decided."
I just want to flick my tongue out at him and be like, "Fuck you, you little bitch."
He walks over and he extends a hand for a handshake.
No,
No?
I wanna wait. I wanna turn back into Valmoria,
Sure.
and I wanna look at him and go, "I shake the hands of people who don't rely on other people or other entities to do their bidding," and I walk
He
away.
looks at you and he says, "Well,
Goodbye.
yeah, it was my hands that banished you, so as much as
Yeah,
you would
well-
like, I won fair and square.
You won because you're a little bitch.
You turned into
Goodbye.
an animal. How
Brother,
is that
she's
fair? I can't do
You
that.
didn't even fight me. You just banished me because you knew you were
I
gonna
did
lose.
fight you. I'm a wizard. You go to a wizard school.
Hey, fight me next. Fight me next.
Well, let's just relax here. Don't we have other things we're supposed to do today?
Yeah, we do.
I gotta go to class. Fuck you.
Do you have any
Wow.
friends, little man?
Plenty.
Look like a
Oh,
loser.
I'm sure.
Calling Cap. Can I roll inside check, see if he's lying?
Yeah, go for it.
His girlfriend goes to another school.
Yeah, we wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know her.
She's in Canada.
Why am I rolling like ass today?
I'll do it inside too.
I'm just gonna smile and use prestige to make it smell like sulfur.
Yeah. I will say you notice that like the smell gets to the edge of the arena and won't go any further.
Oh, god damn it, Clay.
God damn it, Clay. Amara on a 20 insight.
Damn.
Amara on a 20 insight, weirdly enough, he's not lying. Like, he does have friends.
It's just his friends are also losers.
I don't know. I thought he was pretty cool.
Go date him. Go date him then.
And you know what? On a 20 insight, I'm gonna give Amara this, and it's something that the character and Cielo probably don't want to hear. You do realize in this moment that everyone's so bitter to this guy because he did just clown on Valmoria. Like, what he did was not necessarily bad or not allowed in a fight. He just won, and that didn't feel good.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Amara says anything about that.
Nah, she would just keep that to herself. But I'll just look at the group. No, you don't, because you got one. You got a one
Yeah,
inside.
Rock, you think he's lying. You think he's 100% lying, Rock.
It was a joke. Amara.
Rock has no idea. He's,
No,
We'll get him
Oh.
next time, Valmoria. That's two out of
he's
three.
like squinting his eyes, trying to look at him, really thinking. Shit. Can't. I
Yeah,
can't
he
get it.
Don't worry,
as you guys are talking, he looks over and he says, "Yes, I'm not afraid of a rematch. If you'd like to try and win your title, bearer honor, or whatever back, I'm not going to shy away."
What's your name? So we know next
Well,
time.
you look like you need this win. You know, you have it. I'll go back over. I shake his hand.
He looks
tell
at you.
him
He
good
goes, "More
job.
than you know."
Well, I'm glad you got you a win.
We can tell just by looking at you.
His name is Arthur.
Arthur.
Yeah, it
Of
would
course
be
it's
Arthur.
Arthur.
That's
God,
tough.
dude. Well,
Go full fucking.
Is his friend's name Dutch?
No.
Oh my god.
Arthur. This guy's not cool enough to have a friend named Dutch.
You
His other
look
friend
like you would
named
like my
John.
friend Clarence to go talk to him.
He like cocks his head from me and goes, "That sounds like a distinguished fellow."
You
He is
wouldn't
very-
believe.
He's a nice man, okay? He's a good man.
You know, y'all look
Where
like y'all
might
might
I
have the same
find this
favorite.
Clarence?
No, no, no,
on
no,
the
no.
way to Astral Sonic, it looks like y'all really get along.
Very well. Me and
No!
my group will stop by on the way for lunch.
Yeah.
I just wait. Since I'm over there, since I shook his hand, I just want to whisper to him, and I was like, if you hurt Clarence, we will come kill you.
He, as you guys are shaking hands, he looks at you and he goes, "I don't resort to barbarism like you. Again, I won the fight by simply sending you somewhere else."
It was a really nice place, though. I had a really good time.
Yeah, that
I
shit
looked at
is
some really
dope, right?
great
Like, I
spots.
chose to send, like, whenever I need somewhere to go chill, that's where I go.
You know, that was pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's-
I enjoyed looking at the
It's not like
stars.
I'm going to send
know?
you to some evil place when we're in a school fight. That'd be crazy.
I mean, you know, people have been sent worse places here. You know,
Yeah. I heard about
Shit
that
gets weird.
business with the headmaster. It's kind of crazy.
yeah, you know, we went to hell, saw Asmodeus. You know, it was a time. You know,
The dynamics
happens.
changed really quickly here.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna say like honestly.
You know, I think you
probably should
guys
not
just
do a
didn't like
split.
me because I what? I'm not trying to gloat, but I don't feel like I did anything wrong.
I'm gonna be
Well,
honest,
you
man.
know-
I don't even know why I'm here, why this is happening. I was kind of worked up on something else.
Vi's token is not even here. Nor a car.
He's just
gone.
floating.
I'm not even at the fight.
No, I came with you guys eventually.
Oh, there you go.
Just had to-
Fight
Just
is
as a play.
upset.
He's going through a lot.
Just
Right
I needed a moment.
Yeah. I mean, like, but yeah, space pretty cool, pretty dope.
Yeah, if you'd like to, I can give you access to that place later on if you decide not to try and kill me in my sleep. It's a
Hey, as long as you
demi-plane.
don't
I,
hurt
it's a
Clarence-
demi-plane I made.
As long as you don't hurt Clarence when you go meet him, perhaps.
I have no desire to harm my fellow students. I am a man of knowledge.
Wait, what?
Can I see this place y'all were talking
That's
about?
right. That's right.
I thought it was
He looks around and goes, do you all want to go to space? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Like right
We
now.
were just there, guys. We were
Well,
just.
this is a different space that I made.
He made
this
it. He
space.
made it. Yeah. I want to see
You
it. I
made
want
the
to see it.
space.
You
You
made
made
Yeah, but he doesn't
space.
understand how that spell works. Like a step out
volunteer
there.
as
or some
tribute.
shit.
Well, I used the banishment spell to send your friend there, but I have access to the place for the willing. You can go when you want. I just use it as a safe place in like a fight like this to send somebody without like, oh, you might end up in the abyss or the Feywild where they're going to take your eyes or something, you know?
You could have sent me to the Feywild. I've had a grand old time there.
Well, you'd probably be fine there, but I know, you know, depending on where you land, there's some nasty folk.
True that. True that.
So it's a safe place I have to where I can, you know, if I have to banish somebody, or it's especially good for like if I'm out in the field and I see a creature and I'm like, I want that creature to be mine, I can keep it there.
Well, that's questionable.
Well, it's not like I take care of them. It's like we're out in the field and it's like, oh, there's a abandoned baby dragon. Well, what are we gonna leave it there? We leave it to die? Like,
No, I
usually
must
bring it
ask,
back to the school and let the groundskeeper deal with it, you know?
Are any of those creatures currently in there?
No, I don't keep a active stock. It's just for transportation.
All right,
Okay.
all right. We'll see what this
Whoa.
whole space thing.
How did
is
you come
talking
up with
about.
that?
He like pulls out his wand and carves like a doorway. And as he like goes to the top, he like looks over at Valmoria and he's like, "Could you?" And he like hands the wand over. He's like, "I know some of you are taller. I'm used to making the door a little smaller for myself."
Valmoria.
Shit, sorry, I didn't know I was muted.
Valmoria stares at him blankly.
Staring into the abyss. I like
Having
extend the
flashbacks to
door
hell
out
already.
so clay or rock
Yeah.
can fit in it.
He
if
like
rocks
he
come in.
like hands you the wand and you like make the door a few feet taller so everybody can go through. hand it back to him. A silver door handle appears. He reaches up and opens it, and you guys watch as you walk out into like this open area. At first, it looks like a laboratory in this area, like a half-circle laboratory built into a wall. It's kind of on the same side as the doorway, and then out beyond that, you just see open space. Just what looks like thousands of miles of open space, stars. You see like galaxies in the distance. There's like meteoroids and asteroids floating through. There doesn't seem to be a ton of like life or whatever here, but even then, you see like far in the distance blinking lights of like satellites and stuff.
Cool.
And also, you guys don't need oxygen.
So like
I told you it was cool, guys.
you say like you made all this, and it seemed like the satellites and stuff. Like, what's all that about? Is that just for the aesthetic?
That's one of my party members. He likes to keep a supply of already prepared technology on hand. So, like, say we're in a different place and we need communications, he has a couple of satellites he could pull out and set up.
Hey,
That's
could
bad
we
idea.
convince you to make another one of those wands? You know, if we
You
ever wanted to-
literally just hated on me for you specifically are a dick.
Yeah.
Not me. I want to learn. Show me. Show me how to do
I like
it.
this other, like the other guys who are interested. You're just kind of an asshole because I beat your friend, and even your friend's being nicer to me about it. Like,
Yeah, I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
know
lie.
what's up with you.
Yeah. I was just a little upset, you know.
I didn't
He's just
didn't
loyal
hurt
to his
anybody.
friend.
I could have done all kinds of nasty shit and actually hurt her, and I just sent her somewhere else. I mean, I'm not trying to be like, ooh, I'm sure she probably could have beaten me if I hadn't done that, but that's not the point.
Just a very competitive guy, you know. He's really getting into
Yeah.
it.
I could tell, man. You need to stay away from organized sports. You'd be like those,
I'll let my other friend continue.
yeah.
Sorry,
He kind of looks
Brian,
up and down. He's like, you seem like a cool guy, but the aggression, a bit much.
He's a bit jumpy at first.
So, what were you guys asking him?
I was gonna ask if there's any way that like we could have a way to get there if we ever needed to for a safety reason.
He says, well, I have the means to grant access for people here at the school. Some students pay me to use it as a study area, but as far as in other places, it would be a little bit more complicated. You could always teleport or plane shift into it. If I were to give you permissions. But I would also have to know that you weren't going to come into my laboratory and, again, try and knife me in my sleep.
You said that you made this, and do you think any of us have the capability of making it? Maybe you could teach us. I mean, you did just win. I mean,
Well,
it'd be nice to know a little.
most wizards with enough arcane power and time have the means to create a demi-plane. You need some certain resources, but it's not impossible. There are smaller versions that are meant to hold singular or a few creatures. This is just a scaled-up version.
I'm sure one of us here could figure that out. More magically inclined. I know I'm technically that.
Most of this was constructed or thought out and planned by me, and much of the construction was done by the artificer of my party, so...
Alright, well, I'm one of those. I could probably figure something out.
The hard part is just not trying to make it too large. There's a limit. This area, and he points to space, is not as big as it seems. It is a few 100 miles, but not full space.
A few 100 miles is not bad.
We at one point we had means of air travel that we kept here, but we lost the ship on a previous mission.
It seems like it would make a very good garage. I must say so myself.
As it was part of the initial construction, was to have a means for our Spelljammer ship to arrive here for safety and repairs.
This is good to know.
Yes, well, next time, guys, more than willing to have a conversation. Also, I'm
honestly
kind of
have
I'm
no
sorry
idea
for
what any
getting
of this broke
upset,
out.
and sorry for getting a little upset in in the classroom. It does, getting told to shut the fuck up by some random lady with leaves in her hair is a little strange.
It's the way we tend to make friends in this group. We usually always start off on a really bad wrong foot, and then just kind of goes from there.
That doesn't seem
do
like it would be
apologize.
effective.
Yeah, we should
It
work
is.
on that, Arthur. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I was mean to
I'm
you.
It's all
gonna say
good.
right now that has not really ever happened to me. The first time, I would just kind of showed up and I helped. Well, I don't know how much I helped. But now they're all cool. And it's kind of the same thing here. I was just kind of there. I don't know what's really going on.
He looks over and kind of scans you guys up and down and says, "Well, if you don't have a desire to murder me, then I'm willing to pass on what bits of information I can. I know," and he looks at you, Valmoria, he says, "I've heard recently through a compatriot of mine in study that you are friends with Inafira. Her and I often, or not as often anymore, but study together occasionally, so."
We talked about studying together too. I also am sorry for telling you to shut the fuck up. I was a little frustrated. Kind of took my anger out on you. That was my bad.
I
I'm working
understand
on
this.
it.
The class today was a bit, shall I say, menial. It was a bit of a struggle, even for those of us who are a bit more advanced. I remember taking the first year of auras and it being a lot of dependency on the other people around you.
I just took that
just got
skeleton
back.
thing really hard, man.
What were you saying, Maddie?
Just got back from a very trying, I don't know what we call it, mission. I was a little frustrated, and I do apologize. That was not very nice of me, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, he nods, says, "Yeah, I had heard Inafira had returned, but I had not been allowed to visit her yet, and whatever the problem, whatever you dealt with, we've all got to go to school here together for a while, we have beef, we can let it out on this field, but I don't want us trying to kill each other outside of that."
Oh, yeah, no.
I think it's funny how we're all just surrounding him. Like, that's so imposing.
We're still in his plane.
We're not gonna hurt you. We're not gonna
Yeah.
hurt you.
She had a lot go on. That's her business to tell, but she's dealing with some stuff right now. But hopefully she'll be,
He looks.
back
He
to
looks.
her.
He says, Speaking of, if you were interested in this technology, their artificer Q was the one who taught ours how to do this.
Oh, we know Q. We met Q.
So he would be
he's an
the source.
interesting
We could
fellow.
give you certain information, but most of what we learned was from them last year.
Interesting.
I do
Like
think something like this would be very useful to us.
I agree.
Says, "Well, if there's nothing else in here, we should probably get back to school."
Yeah, we gotta get back to our education,
Yeah, by chance, is there any time maybe we could see what spells you have too? Maybe I'm interested in learning a few new spells.
Says, "Well, I'll need a little bit more comfortability around you before I open
of
my
course.
spell book, but maybe somewhere down the road."
Sounds alright, man.
Rock, looking at fucking Instagram reels. Come on, man.
It's on the Skyforge PC again.
It is far worse what he said.
Oh my god. Tricky poo.
All right.
What the fuck?
But I don't got
Rock,
nothing
quit
else.
that shit. Quit that shit right now. Not mid-session, I swear to God.
Sorry. What happened again?
Sorry about that.
So you guys all head back to the campus, to the dueling arena. You all head out. Arthur kind of waves and nods at you guys and he goes, "Well, despite the high tensions, it was nice to meet you all," and heads out.
What a cool guy.
Well, isn't it ironic?
Yeah, and I'm
No,
starting to think
name's
maybe that
Arthur.
one skeleton was not related to Sammy, so I think I'm good.
I'm glad that you're able
I
to.
don't know if they really did look alike though. I mean, they had the bones.
Yeah, but
and the skull.
rip us all of our skin, muscle, and organs, don't we all?
Let's not
So-
rehash that.
Yeah. So you guys go back to your classes. You run through the rest of your required classes for the morning. You finish basic magical auras. You guys go to history of magic and art with Professor Zafai, who you guys was the one whose class you guys got attacked in last week. Giant Earth Genasi man. He greets you guys as, "Hello, class. It is good to see everybody, but I want to greet all of the new students." He goes through, gives you guys a rundown. It's just a history of magic and art class. It's a lot of study, lab, that kind of thing. You guys at some points in the semester will go out to like dig sites and archaeological areas and stuff to do some research. But for now, he just wants to, now the first week is over and class is starting, get everybody back to speed. You guys go through a lot of the stuff that like your first day of class and the first week he wasn't able to go through, especially because you guys got attacked by a demon. You guys finish up that class pretty easily. You guys all do pretty well. You guys all head out to the Witherbloom campus for magical physiology with Professor Lang. This, tall dryad woman. Her hair is filled with leaves. She's got kind of greenish, pale skin, long kind of fur and leaf / moss clothing and robes. She takes you guys out to the depths of Witherbloom. She starts teaching you guys about some of the different magical beasts you see there, a lot of the different trees. You notice that in the bog, most of the bog is something that's called a snarl, so most of the Witherbloom bog is actually a living being. Like the whole area is just like a sentient forest. That's always kind of alive and moving. It's why there's so many like Ents and tree folk in the Witherbloom area. You guys meet one of the groundskeepers. Let me find my name sheet real quick. There's so fucking many of them. You guys see in the class passing through is the groundskeeper of Strixhaven. Her name is Yadora. She's a giant tree folk, a woman probably a few thousand years old. She tends to most of the livestock and the creatures that live in the bog that are like saved from other places and brought here to be studied. And they all kind of just live free in this area, and she tends to them. After that, you guys are going to kind of split up into some of your specific classes. So first we'll do rock and a car in Divinity Explored, which is Professor Talonrook's class. So you two together head off to the Silver Quill campus to the north. You head back into the building where you had taken Jaren and Infira to this giant lecture room, and you sit down and you notice now there's a bunch more of just clerics and paladins here. Pretty much everybody here is like a cleric or a paladin of some kind. You see some clerics in like holy robes and vestments, very heavy overcoats and stuff with holy symbols on their chests. Some of them are wearing like veils or hoods. You see some paladins in like half or full plate armor come in, like take a mace off of their side and set it next to their chair. And everybody kind of sits down in different areas around the room. There's a couple like grouped areas. You see that guy you saw the other day, the Dragonborn with like the green robes and that rope that he was wrapping around his wrist. You see that one individual with the brown hair and the silver kind of grayish armor and the super green eyes sitting over. There don't seem to be like a ton of like really big cliques. It's usually just a couple students sitting together here and there. But what do you guys do as you walk into the classroom?
Yeah, I would like to check up on. I'm sorry, fucking tired right now. Can't remember the names right now. Like they're still in here, right? In the infirmary.
They're like way underneath. You'd have to go super underground.
Okay, never mind then. I'm just gonna find a spot to sit down and get ready for the class.
What about a car? What's a car doing?
Yeah, just follow him and find a spot and kind of look around and
Yeah.
see if I know anybody.
Yeah. You guys walk through, you go and find seats together. You look around, you don't really recognize anybody. There's no. I mean, Jaren would be in this class if he, was not sick right now. But notably, you don't notice any clerics of the Raven Queen here. So it looks like Jaren would have been the only one. You do see some different divinities. You see Ioun, of course. You see a couple of clerics of Ioun. You see the Dragonborn. He seems to have a thing around, like a symbol around his neck, and with a cord you put together that he's a cleric of Ilmater. Who's like, he's kind of like a god of like pain and self punishment. So it kind of explains the thing he's doing around his wrist, like wrapping it super tight. You see that the paladin dude with the brown hair is a cleric of Tyr, the god of war.
I'm just gonna take a little mental or note in my book about.
Yeah, you do. That's a strange god. That's a strange god to be a paladin of.
Yeah.
Not very well known. Not very well worshipped. Most people who worship the god of war would worship like Kord or something like that. So, a little bit strange in that, but you see a pretty good variance here of just a lot of the pantheons. Most of them, or sorry, all of the ones that you see though are from the upper planes. So there doesn't seem to be any clerics of any of the lower planes here.
Well, that's just rude.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to be at the moment, but something you could ask the teacher. After a short while, you guys watch Professor Talonrook, her kind of tall owlin self, walk in. Long blue and gray robes, holy symbol around her neck, kind of plods in on her claws and walks up to the small podium at the beginning of the room. She kind of raises one of her wings to calm the class down. The conversation wasn't loud to begin with, but it slowly kind of dies off into nothing. She looks and she says, "Good morning, class. Welcome to the first real week of Divinity Explorers. Some of you I have had for multiple years, as this is a multi-year course. Others of you are new here, but to all of you, welcome. In this class, we will explore divinity, where it comes from, and the gods that you choose to worship, or not at all. There are some clerics and paladins who pull divinity from nothing, from no god, besides their own will and power. It's could be any number of things, but this is the room where you will find out what and who you are. Before we begin, are there any questions from anyone in the class? Nothing from you guys?
No, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
Cool. She waits around for a moment. Nobody speaks up or says anything. She says, "Very well. We shall begin with today's first lesson. We will be speaking about the different kinds of divinity and how they differ. So, most in this room, as I understand it, have been registered as, or all, I should say, have been registered as clerics of the upper planes. Is that correct? We have only clerics of the upper planes in here?"
I raised my hand, like, no, not me.
She kind of nods at you, and she, does anyone else speak up?
Just kind of
I do.
very quietly, like, put my hand up ever so slightly. Yep, it's us.
Yeah.
We're the weirdos.
Yeah, she kind of nods and looks, and she smiles. She says, "It's fine by me. I have no discrimination against, and many years we have none, so it will be a good lesson for the class to have clerics of both sides here to compare notes, shall we say. So, let us compare then. Here. Bryant, if you will." And the paladin stands up and comes to the front. And she points to you, Rock, and she's like, "Would you join me up here, Mr. Lionsman?"
All right, I'll walk up.
You two stand on the podium, and she says, Here, we will have a comparison of how these two view their divinities and how they pull their power from it. So first, Mr. Bryant, if you will explain the god you worship and how you pull your divinity. And this brown-haired dude kind of takes a moment and he says, my god is the god of war Tyr. I'm a paladin of Tyr. I pull my divinity from the need to fight for righteous reasons. I know a lot of people who fight for just the sake of fighting, but I feel that I am at my most powerful when I am fighting for a reason or for other people. She kind of nods and she looks over to you and says, Mr. Lionsmane, if you will, what is your divinity, do you think, and how do you pull on it?
My divinity is Bullywug.
Glag,
That's okay. Clyde. My divinity is Clyde, the dead goddess. She is a Goliath god, and I pull on the fact that she exiles relate to her, and I draw strength and comfort from that.
Professor Talonrook kind of nods, says, you see, class, there are two completely different approaches. One of these fellows fights for what he considers righteousness and goodness. The other fellow fights for a figure that has given him sanctuary and comfort where no one else in the world would. There are a multitude of reasons and places you can pull your power from, and it does not have to be limited to the reason that you started pulling your power to begin with. Mr. Bryant, you could at any point turn your righteous wrath into a tool of vengeance quite easily. Mr. Lionsmane, you could turn your small brotherhood of exiles into a force to reshape the world if you so desire. There is no limit to what you can do once you understand your divinity. She kind of looks at you two and says, are there any questions from the two of you?
Yeah, I guess I'll have one. I'm having a little bit trouble of pulling the divinity out. It happens. I feel it happen, but I explain to her how it only happens whenever I'm in a fight, and when I'm raging, I see it. But that's it. Like I kind of just explained to her like how I can only use it once.
She kind of smiles. She says, a great question, Mr. Lionsmane. I know many in this class struggle to consistently pull on their divinity. It is the greatest struggle as a cleric or paladin you will face is in the moments most dire, in the moments that feel like you are the most alone, remembering that you draw power from something greater. I would recommend, Mr. Lionsmane, and same to you, Mr. Bryant, if you feel at any point that you are struggling to pull on the core of your divinity, on the purpose of what makes you you, I would recommend a small bit of study deeper into what it is exactly that you do pull your divinity from. Sometimes understanding the entity, the deity that we channel will allow us to better understand what is needed of us.
We'll see.
We have an extensive religious library in this room that all of you are welcome to use at any given point, and I have collected tomes on most any god that has ever existed or been mentioned, besides the ones who pose a threat, per se. She kind of looks around the room and she motions for you two to go back to your seats. What I'll need is I need a roll me a charisma check. And then Rock, you can roll me a strength check. That's fine.
Okay.
All right.
Roll.
So a car,
No,
I
it
think
does
you
not.
being in a class setting is just a little bit different for you. You're I think probably a little bit hesitant to show off much of your magic in here right now, just because even though you've been told otherwise, being a cleric or of some kind of the lower planes is usually met with some kind of resistance. So I think that a car's not fully into it yet, just because of the reservation that you've had to kind of develop over the course of as long as you've drawn on this divinity.
I don't know these people.
Exactly. You're not comfortable yet, so you just kind of hold back. And I think even then, Talonroot can tell that you have access to vastly more divine power than you're letting on. Like you maybe pull out the book, do a couple of runes or something, but she's very well aware that you are not showing off what you're actually capable of. Rock, with the 20 though, you are able to, through the course of this class, you go and you read through some books. You find a couple on some of the Goliath gods. You find one specifically that has a couple chapters on Kulaic that you would be willing, you would be able to take with you if you wanted to take home and read it.
I take them home.
Got you. So you grab those books. Akar, if there's anything about Hades or the lower planes you wanted to grab, you're more than welcome to. Students of this class are able to check out books.
Are there any books that look like they could pertain to the generals?
The generals, that's a good question. Go ahead and roll a religion check with advantage for me. It's a really good question. A 19. I think you look and you don't find anything, and then you go ask Professor Talonrook about it, just on an offhand. You mention maybe one of the names you heard or whatever. She says, I would look in not the main sections, but over in the corner, there's a small section of what some people consider demigods or failed ascensions. There might be something there.
I give it a peruse, give it a look see.
Yeah. You look through. You don't find anything that's all of the generals in one book. But you do find a book on an individual named Mariker.
Does that shit sound familiar? Sounds familiar.
Yes, it is the name of one of the generals that you were told. His name was Mariker of the Echoes, and the little bit you knew about him was that he was a lich, and what you're reading seems to match that.
Can I look at the teacher and be like, can I just hold on to this, please?
Yes, of course, just sign it out on the sheet and make sure it comes back.
Okay.
So yeah, you're able to snatch that book. And it's a good it's like a journal sized. It's not like a full size tome, but it seems almost like a small, probably 10 chapter journal. But that's the only information in that little area of the library that you find on them.
Go ahead, pocket that for later for
Yeah.
some bathroom reading.
A car reading about devils when he wakes up in the morning.
That's factual.
It's like his men's health magazine.
Yeah. Demigods Monthly.
Yeah. All right, so you guys finish up that class. We'll go through a couple more of them. We'll do Tea Kettle's class.
Duh.
Are Akar and Phi gonna be in Tea Kettle's class? It's Abjuration 101. Abjuration is protection magic, so I mean, it would make sense if both of you were there, but you don't have to be.
Yeah, might as well.
I'll show up, just see what happens.
Got it. So you guys walk up to the main. So I just want to clarify, it's in this class is Valmoria, Orion, Phi, and Akar. Nobody else, right?
Yes.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think that's it. Cool. So the four of you gather back up and you head towards the main campus near the Biblioplex, kind of where Tea Kettle's office is. You know that his classroom is a giant amphitheater right below his office. So you guys head upstairs through the main tower, head in there. You notice that the room is pretty much exclusively filled with wizards of varying levels and skills and stuff like that. There are a few different other types of individuals here. There's a couple of artificers. There are a couple of like clerics and stuff like that. But it is majority wizards, and there's probably a good 65 like students here. They all kind of go into like this cylindrical amphitheater, and everyone's kind of taking their seats. You see a lot of these wizards pulling out like giant, huge ancient tomes and a bunch of like weird alembics and weird like tools and stuff that they're setting up on their desks.
Pull out an issue of guns and ammo.
You what?
Pull out an issue of guns and ammo.
All right, I guess.
Gun magazine.
I get. No, I know. All right, I guess.
I gotta pull out something.
Yeah, not a shield or anything defensive, just guns. But you guys all, does everybody go take their seats, or you guys do anything?
Is there anybody from the other party in here? I imagine like Jaren or Inafira would be in this class.
Jaren and Annie would both be in this class. Who else? Theron is in this class. Theron and Gwig are both in this class. That's what it
I'll
is.
go sit next to them.
Yeah.
Me
So you guys walk over, Gwig kind of waves at you guys. You guys see Theron throws up a gang sign.
Don't know what that
Here's
means.
those two.
Yeah, Mara's not here to translate.
Does Gwig know what that means?
Yeah, they can all speak
Oh.
his language, yeah. Yeah, she looks at you. He said hi.
What's going on, guys?
Just going to class, trying to pretend things are normal.
Yeah, remember that time when we didn't die?
Pretty cool.
Yesterday?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, you mean yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday.
Seems like it was just yesterday.
So you guys sit there for like 5 or 10 minutes. Tea Kettle's absolutely late to class. 100% late. He will.
Can leave.
Oh God. After 15 minutes, we can leave, and he can't count as absent. So, you guys wait about 10, 15 minutes. You guys what hears like down the staircase from above. You hear like a as like the patter of footsteps, and you hear like dropping scrolls and stuff like that. And he runs in. He's got like an armful of scrolls and papers dragging behind him. He walks up to the center podium and like waves his hand real quick. All the paper and stuff that he had in his hands kind of just lays out on the desk. He looks around. He goes, "Sorry I'm late, class. I was dealing with some headmaster business, but good to see you all. Good to see you all." He looks around. He scans. He sees you guys. He goes, "Glad you guys are back.
Yeah.
Yo.
Do you have a fun time?"
That's not
We had a
not
something.
the word I would use to describe it.
Yeah, it was great. It was pretty fun.
It was a
It's awesome.
memorable vacation, I'll say that much.
Tikota kind of looks at you guys. You see like one of his eyes kind of like squint at you guys. He goes, "By all accounts, you should be expelled, but I deeply respect students who say fuck the system."
Yeah. We did what had to be done, you know.
Wasn't the first time I've done that. Well, not that specific, but you know, when against the system.
Let it be known, if you do anything like that again, I can't stop them from kicking you out.
I just kind of whisper to Orion and go, "Doesn't he have final say? He's the headmaster."
I don't know how this college works. It's different from the one I went to.
Tea Kettle whispers. He goes, "I have really good hearing, but also we have there's a board of directors, and like I don't make all the choices, you know."
That sounds like it sucks, Mr. Tea Kettle. I can't lie.
Yeah, that sounds awful for you.
I'm not
Sorry.
a great guy. I understand that, but those guys suck.
Yeah, you seem pretty chill, you know, other than, you know, sending a kid to hell.
By the way, I'll never say this publicly, but I'm sorry about what happened to you.
You know what? Forgive
You
and
want to tell
forget.
Q that.
Yeah.
If I say it publicly, they'll start to doubt me, and I can't have that.
Forgive and forget, Mr. Tea Kettle. I think that's something you're gonna have to take up with Q, though.
Yeah.
I
was mostly
visited
just
him
along for the
yesterday.
ride.
I think we're cool.
I think
Cool.
everybody's looking at us. I think we should. Get...
The whole class is just staring at you guys.
We're just whispering back and forth.
He goes, "Very well. Well, to the matter at hand, to those new students, welcome. To those of you I've met before, welcome. This is Abjuration 101. Here we will teach you how to protect yourself. We will teach you spells, incantations, items, potions, things that will make you more protected. As you know, many of us wizards are not known for being big and strong. So, to begin, who here has experience with abjuration spells?
I hit him with like the wavering hand, like,
Yeah.
I know a couple.
Yeah. Pretty much everyone but Orion should raise their
Yeah,
hand.
yeah. I got nothing.
I had to look at my spell list real quick, and I see shield in there.
Yeah. He kind of looks around and he goes, very well. Abjuration is, in my eyes, the most important school of magic we have. Yes, destruction is important. Yes, being able to cast a great illusion to enchant your foes. These are all valuable tools. But in a fight where all of those things can fail, and all of those things cannot be enough to save you, Abjuration provides us a way to ensure that no matter the situation, we have personal protections. I assume most of you are familiar with the use of the shield spell, correct?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The shield spell is the most basic form of abjuration. It is the most basic defensive ward that one can create. It is simple to the point. It gives you a small boost in defense, but there is something to be said for greater wards of abjuration. We will have one of the students come forward, please, a volunteer.
Fuck it, I'll go. I guess.
All right. You walk up to the front of the class. He goes, Mrs. Evergreen, good. Mrs. Evergreen, I want you to take out your sword and try and kill me.
Okay, I take out my sword. Wait, I'm not gonna get in trouble for this, am I?
Because I'm the headmaster, and I said to it, you're completely allowed.
Cool, I take out my sword and I start swinging.
All right, so go ahead and make an attack roll. An 18. You go and you swing down, you see the sword gets maybe like 4 feet away from him, and it starts to bite into this like invisible wall that's around him, and your sword kind of gets stuck. It feels like there's like teeth biting into the blade, and your sword is kind of stuck on the edge. And Tea Kettle turns around and he says, as you can see, I have defense for most physical attacks. In most situations, if you spend enough time building wards on top of each other, there is little somebody can do to physically get through. Now, you may still be susceptible to certain spells, but this will ensure that in a large battle where maybe you have things like projectiles flying at you, you will not be caught off guard. It says, Mrs. Evergreen, if you would like your sword back and you watch the war, just release your sword real quick.
Thanks for that. I kind of like that sword.
Yes, oh, it won't cause any damage. It's magical, so.
Cool.
But as you can see, there are, at least to my knowledge, very few ways to get around a well-made ward, besides certain types of spells that do not damage the individual but may affect things like their mental. Mrs. Evergreen, do you have the ability to ensorcel people, to charm or something?
Oh, I don't know. Let me see. Hold on. I don't think I do. I don't think I have charm person. I might. Golden. Can a monster, charm monster, and golden. I don't think I do. Other than charm
Alright.
monster.
He looks around. He says, does anyone else in the classroom have the ability to charm individuals?
A car?
Spoken.
No, I don't think I do either.
Yeah, I guess not.
I thought maybe I had like a fear or something, but I don't even have that.
No, I don't think I do.
Yeah, I'm
crazy.
checking my spell list. Yeah.
Oh, I have Charm Person. I'm an idiot. I have
There you
Charm
go.
Person. Sorry. I'm an idiot.
I wasn't sure if you
I
had
have
it
Charm
either.
Person.
That's why I asked.
That's a first level spell. I'm stupid.
So, he says, very well, just try and cast the spell on me, and I will choose to fail to show you that this spell will go directly through my wards.
I guess I cast Charm Person then.
You cast Charm Person, you see Tea Kettle, like, his body tries to resist, his, like, eyes roll back a little bit, and you feel the spell take hold. Like, he's charmed, he looks around, he goes, very good job, Mrs. Evergreen, such a star student. As you can see, I'm completely charmed. He goes, you can let the spell down now. That's good.
Oh, I let the spell down. Sorry.
He kind of blinks. He's like, no, it's fine. I liked you to begin with, so it's cool. Make him
Slay,
pick his
love
own
that.
nose. That's not how Charm Person works. He kind of looks around the classroom. He says, for the rest of class, those of you that can, you will be practicing the basic shield spell. Individuals who have means will try and strike you in various ways, and you will be responsible for defending yourself. Obviously, you should be using blunted weapons and not trying to kill your fellow students, but accidents happen, so do your best.
I'm gonna
I
kind of
pull out my
whisper over
gun.
to Valmoria. Hey, I can't do that. And I don't really want to be cursing you, because it doesn't really feel great.
I'll just swing my sword and like stop 4 feet away from you and like pretend I'm like
Yeah, and then you're like,
struggling.
oh, wow, it worked.
Well,
Like shit.
he did also say, Orion, things like abjuration is not just limited to spells, but also items. Like your animated shield is an
Okay.
abjuration item. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll just use that.
Yeah.
Let's go,
It's not,
buddy.
it's not just limited to spells, but so you guys spend the rest of class practicing that. It's pretty simple. Tea Kettle keeps it pretty tame because it seems like he's busy. He's just doing other paperwork while everybody practices. And you guys finish that class out. What else do we have? We'll do there's a couple more. Okay, so first we'll do non-arcane physical studies again. So
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh, Amara, Rock, Mazareth. Is Orion there?
Yeah, Ryan's there.
Got you. So you guys all head down to the giant field. You see the large Goliath man with a maul rock. You didn't meet him your first class period, but your teacher for this class, his name is Augra. He's a huge, probably 9-foot tall Goliath man, covered in tattoos, really pale skin. He's got a huge maul that he leans on. You guys walk up, you see a lot of the same kids as last time. Most of them seem to be like barbarians or fighters, a couple of rogues, things like that. Some of them are playing some kind of like variant of soccer with this ball that kind of levitates really slowly. They just seem to be waiting for class to gather.
I mean, I know, who was it? Amara, didn't you talk about joining the Mage Tower team?
I did do that. I wanted to see if I could go join them. See beforehand.
Well, the thing is, you guys would have missed Mage's Tower Tryouts last Friday.
No, oh no.
yeah.
I
We
meant
were-
just
we were
like
supposed to
what
go.
they're doing right now.
Yeah.
I was just
Oh yeah. So you walk over to Augra, and he immediately looks at you guys and goes, "Well. It's a little bit disappointed not to see you at the Mage's Tower Tryouts."
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I had this thing and it was really important and I had to miss it. I'm really sorry.
Well, lucky for you, because of something with the headmaster, they said we can continue doing tryouts to the second week.
Thank you so much. When is the next time?
We'll have another session this Friday.
Okay. I will be there. I promise. I won't miss out this time. I'm really sorry.
It's all right. It's sometimes you get a little busy. He looks over and he sees you rocking and goes, well, another of my bold brethren. How goes it?
How goes it, kid? I'll put his hand.
Yeah. He reaches out and like clasps your form. He says, "Oh, just making it out here, it's we don't get many other Goliaths
here.
Yeah. Kind of
Most of our kind don't like leaving the tribe.
So I just wasn't.
Rod, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
All right. Why are you being weird? Give me a second.
Do it now.
Perfect. You look at this man. You immediately realize he's a paladin, and you see an amulet of Kulayk on his chest.
Oh. So I'll bring that up before, so I tell her that you're a paladin of Kalai?
He nods. He says,
Not many other gods for people like us that are welcome at home. I figure that's the only reason you're here.
You're correct.
Well,
I too find comfort in her one.
all of our other gods are so focused on war and protecting the tribe. She's the only one that cares for the outcasts like us. But
Yeah.
she also teaches those of us that follow her a little bit of humanity. I was kicked from my tribe because I didn't want to take part in the slaughter anymore. I wanted to fight for something greater.
Yeah, that was good for my tribe because I lost a door to the chief.
That'll do it, won't it?
Yeah, it will.
I'm surprised you're still alive if that's the case.
Oh, no. Yeah, it was, my mother stepped in. I was a boy when it happened.
Well, sometimes it's the only thing that can save you. In my tribe, I was a war master. I was a general, and one day when I decided I didn't want to raise a city and burn it to the ground for no reason, my chieftain said that my options were either lose my head or leave. So I did.
Yes. I'd like to talk to you about something, if you don't mind.
Of course, we've got a
Okay.
few minutes before class.
Okay. I tell him I'm a chieftain in my own right now, kind of, with the Bullywugs.
Mm-hmm.
But I also tell him I plan on taking back my tribe. And I mention that he's welcome.
He nods and he smiles. Yeah, he nods and he smiles. He says,
Nothing would bring me greater joy than having somewhere to return to on the holidays. The school gets a little lonely when no one's here, but I wish you all the luck in the world. If it comes down to it and you need another hand, if I've got some free time, maybe I could help. It hits a little close to home. Teachers aren't supposed to get involved in the students' personal lives, but you remind me of myself a little. Worst case, I can teach you a couple tricks that'll maybe give your chieftain a little surprise when you see him again.
I like that very much.
Very well. I have free time, usually Tuesdays and Thursdays after the class. If you'd like for some couple of lessons, I can make some time.
All right, I'll take you up on that one.
kind of nods, claps his hands.
Well, let's get to class, shall we?
Yes, let's.
He gathers everybody up. He's like,
Good to see everybody again. I know some of you were busy with some stuff last week, but good to have everybody back. Those of you that made the Mages Tower team, congratulations. Those of you that didn't, get better. For everyone else here, today we're just going to be doing just kind of physical evaluations, just kind of trying to figure out where everybody is and what exactly you're going to need in this class for your specific choice in martial combatancy. So let's begin. So I need everybody who's here to roll an athletics check or acrobatics for me.
Do acrobatics.
Good. Good. Good.
Ooh,
You're trying to beat a 10. It's just a class.
Oh, you're not an athlete.
You're just feeling a little winded.
Can I silver rebarbs?
Yeah, you can. Go ahead and reroll.
I don't think I was in this class, was I?
No, if you want to be, you can. So it's completely up to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goodness.
You're not an
Bad.
athlete.
Can I
What,
chrono
right?
shift?
I guess Fi, roll me an athletics or an acrobatics.
What has Splooge been putting in Yu-Gi-Oh's food?
I'm slowly killing them.
Weird.
23 from
Damn.
Fi. Goddamn.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, the four of you, and I'll say it's a group check. So like Yu-Gi-Oh's slacking a little bit, but the rest of you are able to kind of like keep him up. You're able to kind of like drag him along where needed. You guys, like, he makes you guys run a couple miles. It's, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh's been hitting the books hard lately. His conditioning has been suffering. But between all of you guys, you put up a pretty good standing in class and everything like that. Algra at the end kind of walks over and he says, Good job. Definitely want you, if all of you are interested, to at least show up to the Mage Tower tryouts. Could be useful to have some of you on the team.
I'll be there, I promise.
I'll try out.
he looks at the rest of you and he says, he looks at you, Fi, he says, I'm not sure if you know what Mage's Tower is, but it's like our sport, so we compete.
Would I be much use there? Because, you know.
Yeah, Mage's
can do
Tower
my
is
magic
it's a
thing.
game for anybody. Any class can play. Fighters, artificers, wizards, and you just use your skills in the combat. Think of it like soccer with magic.
I guess I could take a look into it if I have the time.
Well, as I say, you're pretty quick on your feet, and you seem pretty smart, so could be a good goalkeeper.
That sounds like something I could possibly do.
Well, you also know in Mage's Tower you're allowed to use any magic. So, like, you seem to be an artificer. You can use your constructs in the game.
Well, I have a couple of those.
Yeah, there's no limitations. If you can do it, it's allowed.
I see. Maybe we'll.
Yeah. It'll be useful because wizards will also be throwing spells at you in the middle of the game. So,
Ah. Now I'm interested.
yeah. So he kind of goes through the rest of the class. You guys finish up there pretty well for the day. Next, we're going to do blade singing for beginners with Valmoria and Rock.
It's me.
Yes, sir.
You guys walk into this kind of far off classroom. It's in the Prismari campus. You walk through like this huge flaming living snarl thing that seems to be floating around the campus. As you guys walk in, you can almost swear that you see like the flames of the waves like waving to you, like waving hello. You walk through and you see this huge on this like lifted area, like almost like black cathedral with these huge stained glass windows on the front and everything like that. There seem to be a couple of students filing in. They're wearing like wizard robes, but you see all of them have like weapons strung across their back or their sides. So you two tell me what you're doing.
I walk in and I take note of the students, see like a judge who's like strongest.
You walk in. Valmoria, do you follow him?
I distantly follow behind him.
You distantly follow Rock. Okay. So
I
Rock,
Very
stop
distant.
and I turn around, look up. I'm like, "What are you doing? Come here, friend."
in the doorway so everyone hears. Come on, Valmoria, my friend.
Look at who me? Me?
You look around with the rest of the crowd. You're like, who's he talking to?
I don't know anyone named Valmoria.
So
He takes off
Rock,
his
you
shirt.
walk,
No, look, I have your name written on my chest, remember?
and then
Oh, yeah, I
attendance
still
gets
do.
called right after Valmoria has to raise her hand.
I do have that more engaged on my chest.
So you, Rock, you walk in and you see that most of this class, like there's a couple of kind of what look like more martial fighters,
but most of this class are wizards. They're wearing wizard garb, except for the fact that all of them seem in incredibly good physical shape, and they all have like huge long swords, or weapons of some kind drawn like across their body somewhere.
Okay. I got the picture online.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, a lot of them are like elves, very tall and thin with like huge muscles, wide set shoulders and stuff. They're just like, you notice like compared to most of like all of these people are wildly in shape.
This is my kind of place.
Yeah, you walk over, you see one wizard is like drinking out of a protein shake out of a shaker bottle, like an arcane shaker bottle. Valmoria, you walk in and see the same thing. You guys both see this huge black cathedral on the inside. Instead of chairs, there's literally like pews, like long bench seats, like in a church for the students to sit in. And in front of every single like area of bench seat, there's also like an area in the back of the seat in front of you for you to set your weapon. It's like a little stand or a holder. You guys all walk in. There's probably 25 students in this class total, including you. So what are you doing as you walk in?
Do we see anyone we know, like from the other party or that we've met?
No, none of the other party is here.
Oh shit. Val wants to look for a seat away from the man drinking out of the fucking shaker bottle if she gets the ick.
Okay, you go to the opposite side of the pews. He kind of like looks at you as you walk away, and he's like, "Ugh, okay."
It's giving Jim bro.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. Muscle wizard, come on.
Sit down and like contemplate her life choices.
Yeah, muscle wizard is such an old meme. I cast fist.
Val just wants to like internally think, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah, you look around. You see that a lot of the people do look like Jim Bros, but you also see a lot of like, there's a couple of like dryads, like some like lithe, like there's like one like very lithe, thin Eladrin woman who has like a rapier that's like super long on her side. There's like a good variance of people here.
I want to sit next to the Eladrin woman.
All right, so you go down. There's like the pews are set up towards like students sit like 5 feet away from each other, so you sit like next to her and everything. See, she pulls a rapier out like in the scabbard and sets it in the little holder in front of her. Seems to pull out some kind of book and starts reading.
I don't want to interrupt her reading. I just pull my sword out and like set it in the little holder in front of me and just kind of like look and observe around.
Just awkwardly kind of looking around the room.
I just kind of just want to like put my hands on my lap and just sit there and be like,
Yeah, just like pat your knee. Like, So, Rock, what are you doing?
I sit next to Valmoria, and I pull out my shaker bottle.
Rock went to the commissary and bought a shaker bottle before class.
I will give gold for that, just for
Yeah,
this.
one gold. Yeah, you got a shaker bottle.
Val just wants to side eye Rock so hard, just kind of like a.
I just shake it unnecessarily aggressively. Just
Even the Eladrin lady on the
Whole
left side,
class
like
hears it.
she like closes her book and looks at you, Rock, for a second.
I just look at her.
I'm not doing this
look at
because
this
of you.
guy.
I'm doing it because of her.
She
I
looks.
just want to make it clear, like,
She goes, "Try not to be this, please."
Yeah, listen to her
apologies.
being disruptive.
I stopped.
She opens her book back up. So you guys sit there for a couple of minutes. Eventually from the back of the room, you hear the cathedral doors that had closed, like as they open, and you hear the like clicking stride of like very like hard, almost high heels on the floor, walking up the central area behind you. You guys do anything specific, or you just stand there staring straight ahead?
Oh, I guess I'll turn around and look at her like.
Yeah.
Like, oh, interesting.
I'm sorry, you cut out for the last 5 seconds. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I said, you guys behind you hear the cathedral doors like throw open, and you hear like the clicking of like almost like high-heeled boots on the ground moving up the pew in the middle, behind you.
I turn around and look. See what the noise is.
Yeah, you guys look down the aisle and you see this very tall, maybe 7 foot tall woman. She's got these long elf ears, long, very, very long, like to her waist, black hair that's tied back in a long braid. She's got this overcoat on, these kind of longer, loose leather pantaloons, these high-heeled boots, like combat boots, and she's wearing a veil over her face. On her right side, she's got like a whip-thin rapier, and on her left side, she has like a curved dagger. And she's walking up the middle of the line.
Fucking sick.
So as she walks up to the front, you see none of the class really says anything. Most of them just watch her as she walks forward. She steps to the front. You see in the front there's like a it looks like a religious like area. Like there's like a pew, like a giant like pew in the front and a lectern for her to stand at. But behind where there would normally be like religious symbology and everything like that, there's just a statue of a very tall elven woman who's mid dance with a sword. So as she stands, she starts to go through her papers. Are you guys doing anything specific as she's like rifling through her stuff before she starts?
Think
So I
Bowser-
pull out my shaker bottle, right?
Oh my god.
fucking god, what the
Okay,
fuck?
I'm done. I'm done with the joke. I'm done with the
It's
joke.
funny.
Like,
What
can
is,
I just snatch the shaker bottle?
Valmoria just grabs your shaker bottle. Enough.
Okay.
Stop it.
Rock just bows his head in like disappointment.
I'm thirsty.
I was being serious this time.
I need to hit my macros.
I'll give him the shaker bottle back and be like, just pee.
You take the little ball out of the shaker.
Literally, I ain't reaching in there. I don't know what he put in there.
Like Rock
You put your
doesn't know what
you
a
put your
person
full
is.
hand in there, and Rock still
Oh.
drinks it.
He accidentally grabbed a Orion shaker bottle. There's blood and like guts in there.
Yeah, just gunk. You pull it out. There's like intestines stuck to the metal thing.
Blech.
Look, I'm gonna say Rock doesn't know like protein powder, so what he did, he just like put meat in there and like
Yeah,
water.
he just like blended up some raw meat. Ugh.
Blech.
Hey, that was mine. You didn't even ask.
Bro, I put my name on that. This is why I don't like the community fridge. So,
Do I-
you guys...
Yeah, bro.
What were you saying, Maddie?
Would I recognize, or would any of us recognize the woman who's in the statue, or is it just like a kind of random woman?
You can roll me a history check if you like.
Can I roll one too?
Sure. 21's pretty good. 6 is not so good. On a 21, Valmoria, you've like done a little bit of reading since you like figured out what you were going to go into. This is, you would assume, the progenitor of blade singing. The person who came up with the form. Her name is Asante Blackfire.
That's a badass name.
It's a fire-ass name. Ha ha ha.
After a couple minutes, you see the woman with the veil. She stops shuffling through her papers. She looks up. She takes her rapier and her curved dagger off, and she sets them both on the lectern. There's 2 stands in front of her, one to hold the rapier and one in front to hold the dagger, and she sets them down. She looks around and says, "Good morning, students. I am your professor, Eugenia Blackfire, and this is the class 4, the aspiring blade singer. Most of you, I assume, have some type of arcane ability, but for those of you that do not, you are still welcome, and the motions and fluidity of what we teach here will translate to any combat style. To begin, how many of you are specifically blade singers?"
I raise my hand.
You see probably like 15 other kids raise their hand. She looks and she says, "A small number, but our trade is rare and powerful. Most wizards are in the arcane for knowledge and for power. But what we do is for the beauty of combat. When we fight, we do not hack and slash. We dance. We are fluid like water. Every movement that you make must be with purpose. And I believe that translates to any fighter.
So, for any of you that are not blade singers, if you wish to leave, now is your chance. But I will tell you, this class will demand very much from you, physically and spiritually.
Rocker Valmoria doesn't move. Nothing.
Not
No, I'm
pausing.
staying.
Sitting
I'm
down.
locked in.
Stop.
Lock's locked in.
She nods. You see probably 3 kids walk out. She nods and she says,
There is no shame in knowing what your limitations are. I expect only the best from my students. We are at a school of people who can change reality at a whim. And that is a power you will gain as a blade singer, yes, but our power comes not from our ability to cast spells or to warp reality or to change the minds of others, but from our straight connection with the weave. When we fight, it is channeling magic. It is not swinging a sword. It is doing the will of the universe. Does everyone in this room understand what I am asking of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
she nods and she says,
Very well. We shall begin. Everyone, I ask you now to pick up your weapons.
"Do you guys follow as everybody else picks up their weapons and stands?"
Yes.
You-
I already picked up my weapon and
Yeah.
stand.
She turns around and she says,
Now I will lead you to the training courtyard.
and she walks through like a door on the left side at the back of the cathedral.
I follow.
Very good.
Same.
So you guys walk through the line of students. Most of the students have these incredibly ornate weapons. Like every weapon in this room is a magical item of like an artifact of some kind. These individuals use very powerful weapons for what they do. She takes you guys out into the courtyard, and you guys see there's this huge kind of oval-shaped area out there that's just a stone courtyard. Has all these pillars and walls coming up around the outside, and in the center there's a smaller oval that seems to mark like a combat area. She steps into the combat area. She puts the rapier, ties it to her belt along with the dagger, and she pulls the rapier out, puts one arm behind her back, and kind of points it towards the class. And she says,
Who will be the first volunteer?
You already know.
"Yeah." Rock steps forward. She smiles and she says,
It is not often we have such a large individual who would like to learn of grace and fluidity.
Yeah, no. I saw my friend here do it once, and I thought it was pretty. I would like to learn.
she nods and says,
Well, even if you never learn how to enter the blade song, what I can teach you will still help you. Raise your weapon, large man.
I raise my weapon.
she she looks at you
Damn,
and she
I got
says, "Go for it."
the only thing I got is my battle axe and my dagger. Which one do I raise? My dagger or my battle axe?
Either one, whatever your main weapon is.
Like, I mean, my axe. Then.
So you raise your axe. She says,
This is the perfect example. This opponent is large, very strong, but lacks in speed and grace. His weapon, it will be slow. Mr. Lionsman, I want you to take as many attacks on me as you can, and I will try to dodge them.
Okay. Do I roll for attacks?
"Yeah, go ahead and roll 3 attacks for me."
21.
Not bad.
18 and 13.
So the first one you see, as you guys start, you bring the axe down with an immense power. The first one, and right as you think that she's not going to move out of the way in time, you see something like a light in her eyes, and her hair kind of blows back for a second. And before you realize it, she's about a half an inch to the right of your axe as it hits the ground. You come up with the second swing, you try and swing sideways, she backs up, and again, your axe barely misses her stomach by half an inch. And with the third hit, you're so upset and angry that you just can't seem to hit her, that it just goes completely wide as she like bends backwards and it goes directly over her face. She looks at you and you watch. Valmoria, you realize that she just entered a blade song in that fight and got like a huge AC bonus. Her hair kind of settles down. She looks at the class and says, "This opponent is strong, and in most fights I would lose, but if he cannot touch me, he cannot hurt me. So, who would like to try next? Who will trust Mr. Lion's Mane to make a swing at them?"
I would if I was there.
Yeah. Valmoria doesn't speak up at all.
Mordo.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Val.
You're good. All right. So Valmoria walks up to the circle. Professor Blackfire steps backwards. She says, "Mr. Lionsman, you will only make one attack on Mrs. Evergreen, and she will, in her blade song state, try to avoid it. You are also welcome to cast other spells to additionally help you avoid it, but the goal of this exercise is to not be hit."
Okay.
You got it, G.
I would like. Let me see. Do I have to be in a rage to do a reckless attack? I'm trying to figure it out.
I don't believe so.
I would like to use a reckless attack.
Okay. He's trying to hit you.
Well, I mean, obviously I acted Blade Song.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna go ahead and throw up a shield.
Here, I'm gonna roll a luck check real quick. Rock, I need a high or low to see if Professor Blackfire tells you to cool it a bit.
Give me a high.
All right. That was a 5. So she, as you're going to swing, she looks and says, "Mr. Lionsman, we are not trying to kill our classmates, correct?"
Yes, man.
I appreciate the fervor, and it is valuable to teach a lesson, but not all of these students will be as skilled as I am.
So with that, I'll take the low, the 18 instead of the 27.
Yeah, we'll just take the 18. We'll just say that you pull it back into a reckless. I mean, you still could if you want. She would just be rather displeased. It's up to you.
I'll listen to my teacher.
All right. So Rock, you see Rock kind of tones it back, and he kind of like pulls the anger back a little bit. He swings at you on an 18. Yeah, Maddie, you with a blade song, you're able to instantly you enter it, and time kind of slows down as you see Rock's axe kind of move towards you. And this is more of a training exercise. So as it moves down slowly, you're able to realize that what Professor Blackfire did was not only being missed by a close margin. She only moved as much as she needed to move. There was no waste of energy. She only moved exactly how far she needed to not be hit. And you, in that moment, see the axe coming down and you realize it's like, okay, I don't need to jump 5 feet and waste a bunch of energy. If I step to the side, it's not going to hit me. And the axe, as you take one step to your left, comes crashing down in the ground.
Slay.
She nods and says,
"Now, Mrs. Evergreen, in a real fight, an opponent will not hold back, as I instructed Mr. Lionsman to, but the premise is there. You seem to have realized that it is not about simply avoiding the attack, it is doing so effectively and putting yourself in a good position.
Yes, ma'am.
Now that you are still within his range and his axe is in the ground, you could make any number of attacks against him, correct?"
Yes, ma'am.
"Very well." And she says, "Now we will break into groups and practice for the rest of class. But a good beginning."
She kind of nods and motions for everybody to break up into groups.
Sleazy.
More,
right.
what was your DC with all that stuff that you added? Not your DC, AC.
19.
Gracie with a shield is a 24.
Oh yeah, with the shield it's a 24, but without the shield it's a 19.
Oh yeah, I would have hit you.
Yeah, you would have smacked her. A little intense for class.
Pebble got a bone to pick.
Get that woman to the infirmary.
Oh shit, her face!
That's how Val dies. Not to Asmodeus, not to anything. Rock in the middle of class.
A freak accident at Strixhaven.
That's how she goes.
So, as you guys finish up the classes, is there anything you guys want to speak to Professor Blackfire about before you guys head out of class?
I'm reading.
No? Anything from Rock?
Ask her like, what are some steps I could take to learn this skill?
She looks at you, she says, well, most blade singers are wizards of some kind, but the skill of using your grace as protection is something anybody can learn. As I'm aware, there are also certain types of fighters that do similar things. They are able to use some of their grace in battle to redirect or parry attacks. Little different, but same concept. No, there's not really anything specific. If you got a dip, you got a dip. This is all just kind of class stuff.
Okay, I'll just stand until I can't be here no more. Then. I just want
You're good. Yeah, whenever you got a dip, you're good. So, you guys finish up a Professor Blackfire's class. We've got a couple more like individual ones we got to do. Valmoria, you have herbology with Professor Lisette. You guys that day are just going over like basic healing potion ingredients, how to grow them, stuff you already know. If you have any questions for her, you can ask them, but it's a pretty easy class for you. No. You guys also have another class of divination sangromancy with Professor Valentine. Pretty basic. He doesn't make Orion see vision in this class. Pretty.
No vision, no more trauma.
Yeah, it's pretty tame. He just starts talking about divinatory spells, the divination spell stuff, the uses of that kind of thing. There is Eugene and Amari. You guys have Sijic studies with Ibrahim. You guys had it last time as well, but it's basically just him. Right now, you guys are just going over the history of Sijic orders, learning the ones that existed. It's pretty, like, you guys are learning the early history, though, so it's not any really thing of note. The one thing you do get that I guess you guys might want to take note of is that the original order of Sijic mages was called the Seeing Men.
What was the original order?
Yeah, Sijic mages, they were called the Seeing Men.
I got her down.
And they were an order of mages, wizards turned clerics. Valmoria, you also have magical beasts and plants with Professor Willowdusk, the tree folk. A lot of that's pretty basic. I'd say with magical beasts and plants, you also are able to verify that what Arthur said is true. Like, a lot of what he catches in that place, he brings to Eudora and Willowdusk.
Okay.
UGO, you have chronomancy. You walk into the class and it's kind of an open kind of lab area. It's just kind of like lab seats. There's two professors. It's Adrix and Nev. They are both genasi. They're both water genasi. They are. They run you through the first day class. There's probably only like 8 kids in the chronomancy class too. There's only very few of you. That class is a little weird for you because you have 2 teachers. So basically how it works is in chronomancy there is the study of time and the study of space. Adrix is a specialist in time study, and Nev studies space. So both of them together teach the course. So you spend a little bit of time with each of them in that class, going over the basics of this is time as we know it. These are the ways that we're able to manipulate it so far. They touch a little bit on the few successful instances of time travel that have happened. There have been very few, and they're pretty limited in the amount of time that they've worked, but they have happened. And then there's also the Martial and Arcane Integration Lab with Eugenia Blackfire's husband, which you guys did, but that one's pretty straightforward too, just practicing combat. So we'll finish up with classes for the day. You guys all head back to your dorms. Is there anything else you guys want to finish up with while you're there?
Fuck, that blade singing class was really cool.
You can always sign up late.
I was just say, yeah, could I sign up late and then I know I'm at 8, but I'll just take the extra class.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Blade singing is cool. It's like a wizard religion. It's kind of dope.
Yeah. I'll sign up late for that, and then I'll inform Valmoria and Rock of the good news.
Just don't bring your shaker bottle to class, I swear to God.
Yeah, I think me and Rock switched mine. Mine tasted like peanut butter and banana.
Awful.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Oh,
I wanted raw meat.
mine tastes like raw meat.
Oh, lucky.
I think we might have switched shaker bottle.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'll have to start putting my name on it.
it wouldn't help. I can't read.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, but is there anything else like clerical work you guys wanted to do at the school? Any teachers you wanted to go talk to? Tea Kettle, the other party, you can go fucking find Arthur. And is there anything you guys wanted to do? Go talk to Clarence, like anything.
Can we? Will we or I go check on the other party? Are they?
Yeah, I'll go with you,
on their
Jim.
recovery?
Yeah,
I
if
wanna
you
go
guys all
too.
want to head to the infirmary, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to do that.
Yeah.
So you guys head back to Silvercool to the infirmary. You guys see that there's a couple of the Divinity Explored students there. Bryant the Paladin is still there. He seems to be leafing through some books, taking what the professor said to heart, doing a little bit of reading. A couple of the other clerics are there. A couple of clerics of Ioun who were talking to Professor Talonrook about something. As you guys walk in, she kind of nods at you guys and says, "I take it you're here to see your friends. Just take the stairs at the back of the room. It'll lead you to the infirmary."
Thank you.
Yes, man.
Thank you.
And you guys head down. There's a very long flight of stairs, probably like 8 to 10 flights total. But you finally come out into this underground kind of basement room. It's this very clean, sterile, like white room, bright, fluorescent light kind of infirmary area. You see there's a couple of other students like in this kind of basically, what's it called? Basically, like they're almost out of the infirmary. They're basically just finishing up their healing. You see another door in the back of the room that seems to lead to like a more critical care room. And you don't see Jaren and Interfere in this room, so you assume they're in the back room.
To the
Let's
back
go.
room we go.
All right. You guys head to the back room. The door seems to be like locked for a moment, and then you assume that Professor Talonrook upstairs magically unlocks it somehow. The door, the giant wheel on it, kind of opens up. As it cracks open, you see there's probably like 8 beds in this room, and only 2 of them are taken right now, and they're in the back right corner next to each other.
Walk in, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
You guys see like the other like 6 beds, they have like the curtains open, but the 2 in the back, they have like the curtains drawn.
Jaren? Interfere?
Yeah, after a second you hear you can come in, we're just sleeping. They closed us in for some reason.
I'll go walk up to him and be like, how are you guys holding up?
Yeah, you crack open the first one on the right, you see Jaren's in that one, and you guys pull the second curtains and you see Interfere is kind of like half asleep there. She's like, "Oh, good to see you guys. Hello."
Hi, Nafira. Hi, Jaren.
Hey, Annie. Hey, Jaren.
Yeah. You see, they do, like, they're definitely not 100%, but they do look a little better. After a day, they do look a little bit more alive.
Yeah, hopefully. Just came to check in on you guys. We just got done with classes and stuff, seeing what's going on.
Jaron says,
We appreciate that they brought us our schoolwork for the day, and we had to do it here. Kind of sucked. You get killed, and they still make you do homework.
Do you need anything? Any
escaping it.
snacks? Any drinks?
No, Professor Talonrook is taking good care of us. She had some of the kitchen staff come down and make us some food.
Okay. I just wanted to double check.
She just says we will need to be here for a few more days, and we will be led back to attend the classes.
That's good.
I need people to sit next to.
he kind of laughs. He's like,
Yes, I assume the classes are much more boring without us trying to kill you.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't have the same oomph, without the constant fear of death.
We're not going to go back trying to kill each other, though, are we?
He kind of smiles and he looks over and he's like,
I had told her it was not a good idea from the beginning, but I do not call the shots, so I think she has learned her lesson.
But, if y'all ever wanted to train together, I would always be down.
She says, when I'm at 100%, of course, I figure it would be a good test of skill, though I think we will still beat you.
Well, we'll just have to see. Might have to have a little bit of a handicap.
Yes, you can take one of my arms.
Well, I was thinking maybe like 2-on-1, but that works too.
2-on-1 would probably be, a bit easier than removing an arm.
Yeah, I mean, removing an arm it's funny as that's like the less extreme thing that's happened to you the last few days,
It's pretty crazy. I mean, if my arm comes off, I can put it back on. I can do that. But
yeah.
Bringing myself back to life, that's not a skill I have.
But
by the way, you had a bomb on you at one point. I didn't put it there. Someone else did.
he kind of like, you see, kind of like rubs his stomach.
He's like, I assumed I had felt some type of dark magic.
we should have kept it, Fi.
Well, yeah, it wasn't like a physical bomb.
I do not think you could have kept this bomb. It was embedded in my body.
Yeah,
But from what I understand, the bomb was not as dangerous as it could have been.
I will say, just to maybe ease y'all's minds, T. Kettle didn't want to say it out loud, but he apologized to us for the whole incident.
Jaron kind of laughs. He says,
T. Kettle came and visited us last night. He spoke to us. It is less than enjoyable what happened, but at the same time, while I think the old man is a fool, I cannot blame an honest mistake, even if he cannot admit it.
But yeah, that's all I got. Just wanted to come check up on you guys, make sure y'all didn't need anything. Y'all are holding up well.
Yeah. Interfere kind of looks at you and says, do you happen to have any books on you I could read? It's kind of boring.
Well, some people grab some books.
Yeah, I know you guys have a ton of books spread between you, so.
I'll give her a book.
Yeah.
Fi, you're gonna give her the gun magazine?
Yeah.
Give her a Ranger Rick magazine. She's like, a bit childish, but I'll take it.
I am very smart, don't forget.
Fair enough. I cannot argue with that.
I'll just give her a random book and my little big pick and be like, here you go. I don't know if this will help.
Yeah. You give her a book on like some kind of like study on demons or whatever. It's just kind of like a like an information book or whatever, but that's good enough for her.
Yeah. Just a little something.
Yeah. She looked at me and she's like, thank you. This will hopefully make these next few days pass a bit quicker.
Of course. If you need any other ones, let me know. I can go to the library and pick some up if you need that too.
Of course. I I will be in touch, but we appreciate you guys coming to check on us.
Don't ask her. She'll steal them. She won't check them
I'm
out.
not gonna steal them.
I have no moral dilemma with stealing.
Thank you. Thank you. That's nice to
Yeah.
hear.
I don't either.
So you're
Nobody.
admitting to it,
It's
Amara.
technically a victimless crime. Nobody dies. You know, we live in a world where like somebody can point at you and you explode.
Exactly.
People
See,
die
they
every day.
they get it.
So
They
true.
get it.
Sometimes I feel in my dying throes, I feel like my spirit heard that somewhere.
Well, it is a
A wise
profound
man
saying.
once said. One of
I
the
feel like
wisest
it
men
came
on
from an
earth.
ancient philosopher.
You could say that.
It came from someone.
Wasn't she there? Whatever.
She was dead.
I thought,
She
that
was
was
She
dead.
wasn't.
I thought it was at the pirate ship fight.
Yeah.
Oh
it
no,
was
you're right. I
during-
thought that was said after they died. That's really funny.
She probably just
Everybody
wasn't paying
died.
attention.
That's true.
She
Giving
doesn't listen
Rock's
to what
words
Rock says.
credences.
His words very relevant.
But
All right.
that's all
So you guys
for
head out
me.
from them. Yeah, you guys dip out from them, head back
Mhm.
to the dorm. Is there anything else you guys need to do?
Let me think.
I guess I'll do
Is
a little bit of. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good. Go ahead.
No, I was just to say if I wanted to ask the group to see if they wanted to study on that one class since we didn't do too good.
No.
Okay, fine.
No, I'll study.
I'll study with you,
I'll study.
Amara.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll study too. Hopefully, my brain won't be fried this
Mm.
time.
Should we call Arthur or should we just us? Just us.
Nobody got his number.
Oh, that's true. I didn't
Always
know
a
it.
problem.
Arthur.
Nobody got his number. Go ahead and everybody who wants to study roll me an intelligence check.
Yeah, do better.
Yeah, that Arthur's a real cool guy.
Hey.
I'm just
Well,
beat up
that
over the
was-
skeleton
yeah.
this time.
Still not rolling.
Well said. Pretty book.
But dude. Oh.
Well, guys, I don't
Hey,
think
guys, I gotta
it's
go.
to be. See ya.
Bye.
Alrighty.
Bye, Rock.
Nighty night.
Good night.
Night, night.
Guys, I don't think this
Bye.
class was meant to be. It's
No.
You guys technically got more successes than failures, but not enough to get like a bonus. I'll say you guys just kind of make up for not doing great in class today.
Oh wait, can I roll again? Because I never used my silvery barb's advantage.
It only lasts a minute.
Fudge!
language.
We had that come
man.
up in Waterdeep the other day, and I was
Yeah,
so
we
sad.
I
Yeah,
remember.
we did.
But yeah, I mean, you guys. We'll just say it makes up. You guys make sure you at least know the material today that you didn't do too well on. So there's no like negative there for doing poorly in class.
Well, that makes me feel better.
But with that, you guys study for a little bit. It's getting kind of like 6, 7 p.m., kind of later in the evening. Anything at all you guys need to finish up before the evening lets out?
Is Valentine doing the after hours like things where they
Yeah, I mean
do
he's a vampire too, so he barely sleeps.
I would like to go there if anyone else wants to go with me. I don't know if anybody else like I would imagine Orion can go, but that's up to
Yeah,
him.
Sabir will go with you.
Anybody.
He'll walk with you.
Slay!
Go visit.
Come on, bestie, let's go. Do do do.
So Ryan goes. Anybody else want to go with them?
Guess I'll go too.
Bye.
Maybe I can train
Yeah.
with Duncan.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh and Duncan. Yeah, okay. Amara, are you gonna stay and train, or you want to go with them?
I'll do a little bit of training.
Got it. And then Akar, what about you?
I'm gonna start reading that book.
Got you. So Yu-Gi-Oh and Amara both roll me attack rolls with your main weapon. Akar, roll me a
To do a class.
investigation or religion check, either one. Very good.
Amara trying to kill you, Gio.
Yeah. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh and Amara, you get some really good training in with Duncan. You guys see that he starts teaching you guys like in a weird way of you realize that Duncan, even though he's a rat, has an incredibly potent like mind for combat. He's just really good at it for some reason. So in your training, he starts kind of teaching you guys that it's to think about the battle less in the person you're fighting and more about the whole battle around you thing. Like, you need to be aware of your surroundings. So like, he'll have you two like fight each other while his shadows will jump out and attack you guys from nowhere.
Nice.
On an 18 religion, what exactly do you think a car's looking for in that book, do you think?
Just anything that's related to that individual.
Carcera?
Is there any history stuff? Is there any?
This is the book you found on Carcera, right? That's what we're.
The one, no,
He got the
the
one in
one-
general.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. What was that?
yeah, the one about the America, the Lich.
Oh, yes. Perfect. On an 18 religion, you learn that Mariker was he basically more or less has been the cautionary tale for the Ascension ritual. He was a very powerful wizard from a ancient, very great city that most people don't seem to know the name of. That was one of the first people to ascend first to Lichhood. He was one of the first. He basically was the creator of what a phylactery is. He was the first person to figure out how to put his soul into something else. And during the era after the Raven Queen's ascension, he became obsessed with ascending himself, got very close but failed. And basically all that's left of him is a like remnant of his spirit that is unable to die because of his attempted divinity. I don't know if there's anything specific, anything else specific a car would want to glean about him.
It doesn't have anything about where he's from or where he vacations or anything.
I'm gonna say it says a great city that like the name of is not really known. I'm gonna say with the information you guys just got, you probably have a good idea, a good guess where he's from.
Okay.
And that, especially in the time frame where it says directly preceding the Raven Queen's ascension, he was attempting it. It would have been about that time frame.
Okay.
So, from what a car is guessing, even if Orion maybe didn't see him in the vision, that individual might have been in that city. As far as his current location, the only thing it says is that he haunts the lost ruins of that city, but there's nothing on the continent that even looks close to something like it would be the ruins of that city. Like that would be such a large, obvious thing that like you would know about it if it existed here.
What if it's on
Okay.
a different plane?
Yeah, a car probably has a guess that it's a different plane, and that also limits it down to it's probably not going to be an upper plane. And just for the sake of it, roll me a history check as a car with advantage.
Damn.
Okay. All right. You remember specifically Orion saying that Orcus said he was going to take this city for his own. That doesn't necessarily just mean that Orcus took over the city. It could mean it very literally.
Oh, what if? Oh, I didn't even think about that.
And you only get that because you got a nat 20. But it could just be literal.
Interesting.
Fuck. Okay, that's actually. something we're gonna need to look into.
And I think that's the point where Akar realizes he needs your specialty is in the hells, and you need specialty in a different dark place.
Yeah.
But that's about all you get from the book. It's not like a super in detail history. It's just kind of, again, like a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
And then the rest of you are going to see Valentine. You guys head over there through the Witherbloom campus. He's at his lectern podium area, kind of rifling through papers as usual. As you all enter, he kind of looks over. He says,
Good to see you all. I assume you are here for questions and conversation.
Yes, yes.
Very well.
and he puts his papers to the side, stands up, and walks towards you guys. He says,
What can I help you with this evening?
I was just kind of wanting to learn more about the stuff we had discussed the other day, the ancient Bizzle but not a Bizzle language, and the kind of spells that you were doing to put up the like protection with the trees. I just kind of wanted to learn more about that.
he kind of looks and he says,
Very well. I was hoping you would keep true to your word and come visit.
Of course, of course.
Let us first say that I did not cast the spells on these trees. This is not my work. I harvested and transplanted these trees from somewhere else.
From where at? If you're
he kind of looks at you and says,
I do not know if I should say.
If you said anything after let us see, our Wi-Fi just reset, so I didn't hear jack shit.
he says, the first thing he says is,
Let it be known that I did not cast the spells on these trees. He says, I transplanted them from elsewhere.
Interesting. How did you do that?
Much work and magic. Moving these trees and keeping them alive with the arcane as I moved them. But as I told you, friend, I do not know if I should say where from.
Well,
It is an evil place.
Oh, well, that's... Are we talking, like, super duper evil?
you guys can roll insights on him if you like.
let's say if Valentine is saying it's super evil, then
I mean, I assume, but, you know, I was just talking about a dark and evil... Got a thing about a dark and evil place. My Rolls one is rolling like molasses right now.
Molasses.
Molasses.
Okay. An 18, a 21, a 13. Okay. Let's see. What's he rolling? He rolled a natural one. He doesn't want to tell you for two reasons. One,
Okay.
he was never supposed to go there in the first place. And two, he is almost, whether it's true or not, he is convinced that if he tells you where it is, you're going to try to go there and you will die.
Ooh.
that is...
That's a
like
bit of a
that.
predicament. Can we all come to a consensus that we're not going to go there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to go to somewhere we're almost certainly going to die.
I don't want to go there. I just want to know where they came from.
We've already done that once.
Yeah.
Just be like, if you're worried about our safety by telling us this and how, I can assure you if it's certain death, we will not be going.
Yeah, 100%.
Our little expedition to the ninth layer was in...
Here's a pause, and he says,
You say that now, but a week ago, did you see yourself visiting hell?
Well, we went there for a purpose. Went to go save somebody. Granted, that was not where we thinking we were going to end up. But, we went there with a purpose. And I don't think we would have any purpose in this big, bad, scary land that will most definitely kill us. At least I hope we wouldn't.
Okay, well, I just rolled Sabir's insight, and it was a natural 20. So Sabir, in the middle of this, cuts in and says, he doesn't want to tell us because it's in the abyss.
Oh. Well.
I don't think they'll like me too much over there.
Yeah.
Sabir nods, says, they don't like me too much either.
I think
We're
can all
definitely
be under the consensus they won't like any of us very much.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be venturing there ever. Fingers crossed.
Valentine kind of smiles and takes a second. He says, I would not be so sure, Mrs. Evergreen. I am partial to all visions that come through my room. I know what Mr. Nightbane saw. Would it shock you if I told you I found these trees in the ruins of that city?
Oh, mother ever. Yes, it would. But it also wouldn't at the same time.
And now, knowing that this magic lays there and the things that have happened, how can I ever be sure you will not try and visit? I barely made it out alive, and I am not alive.
Oh, I don't want to visit there. I saw the shit that went down there. Well, I didn't see it. I heard about it. I don't want to go there. That's a bad place.
You have proven to me that your wants never have superseded what you consider to be your duty. You did not want to go to hell, but you did because you thought it was the right thing. That is the difference between you and I. I don't care about the right thing, but you do. And that is not an insult, but it will lead you to dangerous places.
Yeah. It's
This is
running.
why I am so hesitant to allow people of your disposition in my class, because you do care what is right, and it is never just about you. And that is admirable until it gets you killed.
Yeah.
Well, I guess for me at this point, it's just family tradition.
I'd rather die admirably than live cowardly, though. Not calling you a coward by any means, but that's just kind of my...
Well, I have known many brave men, and I have outlived them all.
Well, I mean, you don't have to tell us exactly where it is. Like, I God forbid we have to go there. We've learned, or well, I guess we haven't learned. Never mind. But that's up to you. We don't. Up to you.
He kind of thinks for a moment. One of you can roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh, not me.
I got a 0 charisma.
You have a 0
Bye.
charisma or a 0?
No, I have a 10 charisma. Sorry.
Persuasion, my charisma is 0.
I have a negative to my charisma, so...
I'll roll.
Well, these guys, the public speakers.
Yeah.
I also have
Socially
10.
You didn't come here, though.
Oh, that's right. I'm not there with them.
Roll
Fuck
anyway.
y'all.
Not charisma. I'm stupid.
Yeah, it's persuasion with advantage.
Oh, with advantage?
You got 5.
Yeah, Maddie's going to roll it. It's cool.
Okay.
Why are we trusting Maddie? Oh, there's a 1.
One and a
Oh,
Can I do a flash of genius? Is that
You
gonna
could.
help at
Is
all?
there anything? I mean,
I can silvery
no,
barbs
no.
myself.
If you want to silvery barbs, you can. You just reroll with advantage. And then if you want to flash a genius this, you can.
Big
Okay.
money. Big money. Not another nat 1. Not another nat
Okay,
1
a 12. Not bad.
yet.
Flash of genius.
That makes it a 17. Sabir's going to flash of genius you 2 for plus. It's a 24.
Okay, cool.
Sabir's intelligence goes crazy.
Good smart cookie.
Valentine kind of looks at all of you. He says,
I told you on the first day of class that morals would not get in the way of knowledge, right? I guess I should heed my own words.
Yeah, you did say that. You also kind of said you didn't like me, but here we are.
He kind of side eyes you.
Nothing's
Um,
changed.
I speak the truth, Valentine. What do you want me to do? You did say it, did you not?
he did.
Exactly.
He kind of looks down for a second, pauses. He says,
The city I visited in the Abyss was a remnant of the city Mr. Nightbane saw, but as I understand it, some events occurred during that ordeal that caused the city to be moved. Not by Orcus's will, but by the will of others. Possibly to save the rest of the continent, from what I gather. But in moving it to a different place, they moved it to the deepest layer of the abyss, and for a while the body of the Prince of Demons was interred there. As I understand it, later on, the demon Demogorgon came and disposed of the corpse into the astral plane and took the city for his own. When I visited, it was ruled by Demogorgon, and I barely made it out alive. With the trees, I lost thousands of crew I had brought.
Well, shit. I don't want to go there.
It is the 666th layer of the abyss, as low as it goes.
We never wanted to go to hell, and we did end up going, given there was other circumstances, but...
I mean, yeah, true that, but... I mean, at least we know where the remnants are now. Granted, we would die going there.
he nods and
Yeah.
says,
I had many able warriors. These brave men I spoke of were with me, and they stayed to protect me and died for it when they should have ran.
How did the trees survive in the abyss? They're just the,
I spent many years creating somewhat of a nullification field. I was able to remove the trees and put them in a stasis until they were replanted. Think of it as a variation on the time stop spell. But I was not always a vampire. Before that adventure, I was not.
he looks around.
Been around for a long time.
Yeah, he looks around and he looks at the trees and he says,
Cost of my hubris was a bunch of plants.
Very powerful.
Now I am stuck here.
he nods,
Says, yes, they are powerful. If I leave this ring of trees, the abyss will come to take me.
Oh, shit.
I had stolen their greatest defense. This was, as I understand it, a defense grid around the city.
Oh.
Now their city is open to all manner of intruders.
Oh, shit. Yeah, they're gonna want your head on a silver platter.
I and my crew had crippled their defenses, and the memory of demons is longer than all men live.
he kind of looks at you, Valmoria, and he says,
I take it you understand my disdain for trees now.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, I get it. I mean, you sacrificed your life, literally your life, for trees. I mean, you don't have to hate all nature, but I get it. I understand.
he kind of nods, he says,
Differing perspectives, but if I feel as if my disdain comes from the fact that in all time, the magic of nature has always superseded the power of man. No matter how gifted we become with the arcane, the primal forces of the world will always triumph over us.
I think that's part of the beauty of nature. It's ever changing, ever evolving.
Maybe
I think
so,
we're
but
learn.
when you live thousands of years and you see so much change, it is, I feel, normal to wish for some sense of same.
That's understandable.
Thousands, right?
Thousands. I am very old, my friend.
And you're like a vampire? I mean, that's, I only ask because apparently it's like a family thing for me too. So maybe you know them.
What is your, shall we say, forefather's name?
Well, it's a little complicated.
What is the name of your vampire blood?
I I guess there's the two of them. There's the Fairfoot, and then there's the Anarath. There's those two.
He nods and says, I have heard of the Baron Anid. I was alive through some of his life and his death. As far as the Anaraths, they are an ancient vampire family. Some say that they were the progenitors, that they stole the blood from the first vampire after they killed him and continued on. What you say is true. You are a member of a very noble bloodline of vampires.
It's interesting. Yes, it's kind of new information for me.
You do not strike me as one of the blood, but I would abhor you if you run into some lesser covens to see if there are any innate abilities you possess to command them. It is said that most vampire blood is spun off of your families, and if that's true, all vampires must answer to their blood lord.
Interesting. That is something I have not considered until just now.
It is a fact not known much outside of vampires. We do not enjoy portraying that we answer to others, to the rest of the world. I myself have a bloodlord in the abyss, though his connection is severed by these trees.
Hey, he probably doesn't like you too much, does he?
As I understand it, he wishes to wear my skin as a cloak.
Ah,
Does it sound like a
pretty
nice?
intense.
You, students, would consider me distasteful and evil, but I am but a pale reflection of what exists elsewhere.
I
Well, it
don't think
seems I have some self-searching to do for myself because vampires on both sides of the family, that's a little crazy.
Yeah. What were you saying, Maddie?
I said I don't think he's evil. I just think he likes dark and scary things.
That's fair. He kind of looks at you, Fi, and he says,
You do not thirst for the blood, do you?
Not that I know of, I don't think so. That's never really come up.
yeah, you haven't. Now, you've never hungered for blood, but you've also never tried to consume it.
Like I've never tried. I mean, like I've had like a rare steak before, but I think that's like a different situation entirely.
Yeah. He nods and says,
It is often the case for vampires born of genetics and not direct transfusion to not suffer from the hunger. But if you are genetically a vampire, you should be able to gain some benefits from the consumption of blood.
Well, I know some people on our team that do that. So maybe I'll talk to him. I don't know. A little strange, but
It is
no.
unsavory in the beginning, but if it works for you, you will understand.
Yeah, it tasted like shit the first time.
I guess it's
nods and
something
he
I
says-
gotta look into.
Yeah, he nods and he also says, and once you have blooded yourself and learned if it works, as a vampire, you may also be susceptible to some visions like your friend, Mr. Nightbane.
Ah,
genetic memories are transmitted in many ways. Some, like Orion and myself before I was a vampire, have it through our lineage, but others, as vampires have always been able to glean memories from blood.
Interesting. I guess I'm gonna have to think about.
Just things to consider, as though you do not strike me as as a sanguine brother, you have the smell of about you.
What?
You smell like a vampire.
Oh well, that's probably a good sign, right?
More or less, though your heart still beats, which is odd.
Well, I'm not gonna like try and stop that right now because I don't know what will happen.
I have a feeling that, unlike many vampires, you are alive and dying would kill you.
Yeah.
You don't sleep in a coffin, do you?
No.
Even if you don't need to, something to consider. It's quite comfortable.
All right. I'm sure we still have all the needs back.
He
at
kind of
the-
smiles and he says,
I guess being so serious means that my jests are not taken well.
It's just hard to tell whether it's a
yeah.
jest or not.
Understandable.
Professor
Understandable.
Valentine.
I was trying to be relatable. My bad.
It's all right. This is all very new to me. I'm just trying
Me
to
as
figure
well.
it out.
I normally do not talk to students very much. They normally don't like me.
Well, you did give Valmoria a pretty bad first impression.
Yeah.
First day.
Well, I must say, all druid students get the speech because there have been many times where a student of maybe darker intuition comes in, has a vision, talks of some ancient necromancer or god and the coming of the end of days, and then a druid student stands up and is like, "That's not okay. You shouldn't allow that." And I'm like, "How am I supposed to control his mind? Like, it's his memories. I don't decide."
That's
Yeah, I can see how
fair.
that would get frustrating.
It's quite old. I've been teaching for a long time, and druids live forever. When you get one as a student, they're usually here for a long time, and then they graduate, and then 20 years later, they show back up. They look the same age.
Probably also met my grandpa, haven't you?
I would think not solely because, as I understand it, your grandfather is not the biggest fan of vampires.
No, I mean he did kind of kill the Baron and everything quite violently.
Though I was familiar with a individual who said he had befriended your grandfather at one point. His name was Peleus.
Yeah. He did like that guy.
Yes, I have not heard from him in many hundreds of years. I hope he is well.
I don't know.
you know he's dead. His whole family died.
Yeah, but I'm just like, I don't know. He's probably fine.
Yeah, he's probably all right.
Yeah, you'll probably hear from him eventually.
Start sending
Years and,
fake
like,
letters. You start like staging fake letters from aliens. My dearest Valentine. So, any other questions for Professor Valentine?
Not for me.
I just want to ask him if maybe I can come back and if he has any like material on the type of magic that was used in Angora and that type of stuff that I could read
Yeah.
up on and learn from.
He immediately kind of like reaches over to a table, rolls up a scroll. He says, I do not have much information on the magic they used in the city. I do understand that the human folk of the city used traditional magic, but at that time the weave was new, shall we say. They were able to connect with it much deeper. Their magic was much more powerful, right? A wizard or a sorcerer that we consider of the greatest power today was but a novice back then, just a beginner.
Mm-hmm.
Professor Tea Kettle would have been a middle of the road average wizard.
Well, damn.
And
as I understand it, some individuals in this city spent many years building and perfecting crafts and automatons, buildings of great measure. And the magic at the city itself is a much more potent version of what we use now. But as I understand it, they had access to magic from a race of people from the Abyss, pre-demons, called the Vashar, that seemed to use a magic outside of the weave. It was not used widely by humans, but it was used to construct this type of defense grid to protect the city. And the sole power it had, as opposed to magic like we use, is it had the ability to remove all other magic.
Damn.
It was a nullification field of sorts. And
That's
they
cool.
put it around the city in a small grid that they could turn on in a sort of force field fashion that would stop magic from entering or exiting, but the magic inside and outside existed as normal.
Huh.
Would allow the city to avoid long, sieges against itself with no damage, while the automatons inside were still able to function and defend it.
Oh, damn, that's cool. Very cool.
And he hands you a scroll. It's just like a kind of rundown of like personal notes he has on like notes he even took while like way back when he was in the city on just some of the structures and stuff. A lot of it seems like scaled up and like scaled up versions of magic tech you guys have, but also it has components that like even if I looked at this, like some of these components can't be built today because the materials don't exist anymore. They've been removed, mined to like complete, like the world doesn't have anymore, or they just can't be produced because the situation where they were made in the first place can't happen. There's also a little bit of notes he took on the automatons that seemed to run off of pure aethers, and they were like tied directly into the weave. So they were, as opposed to just being robots, they were almost like sentient beings that were just made of magic, and they were just given form through like their metal bodies. There is, stuff on the architecture. The city that he came across was huge. I mean, he describes it as, as large, if not larger, than the Stone Storm mountain range itself. City that spans hundreds of miles. The information he had on it down there was that most of it was dilapidated. None of the technology really worked because the Abyss is kind of cut off from a lot of the weave like that. And that it had been overrun with demons, and that the new demon prince, Demogorgon, had seemed to take it as the seat of his power.
Mm. Well, I just want to tell him thank you, and we'll be back if I have more questions. You have a lot of knowledge that I would like to learn about, even if I don't necessarily agree with your style. I can at least come and learn, and I'm not opposed to that, regardless
He
of.
nods and he says,
There are many things in the world that are evil and dark, but if you know of them, they will not surprise you.
I don't doubt that.
But I cannot repeat this enough. Do not attempt to visit that city.
I don't plan on it.
Even if your
Free
duty
of-
calls you there, think twice.
I will heed your warning.
what were you say, Metal?
I don't know.
You said something.
Do not remember it now. It's gone.
Fair enough. It's gone. It disappeared. The magic circle took it. All right. So with that, you guys head back to the dorm, and that's where we're going to end the session.
All right. My hand hurts from a lot of notes.
Seems-
Large.